I was like literally just about to hit the button and you made me jump out of my seat. Thank you. My finger slipped. No one's ever used that excuse on Twitch before. Not once. You're the first. You're the first in the channel today. You're the first person to ever use that excuse. Thank you, Ian. Oh, GiftBot. Are you borked already? Fantastic. Seriously. And, you know, it's not the fault of the person who made this spot. It's Twitch. They keep messing with everything. Hi, Robot Wizard. How you doing? What's going on? Came apart. I had to restart GiftBot. Came apart. You'll have to try it again. Yeah, I know. Yes. I may or may not have been messaging Nomi this morning. And asking if it came through, which is awesome. You're doing well? All right. Doing okay? I'll take okay. I'll take it. Hi, Miro. I'm surprised to see you. I thought you were supposed to be on the afternoon shift. Did you have to swap or something? Music is barely audible. Oh, you guys have what holiday is it? Good for you. Let's go. No work at all for you today. That's awesome. Barely audible. Hold on. Is that better? I mean, it's supposed to be subtle, but I don't want it to be like almost inaudible. Okay, good. What's up, Jaw? How are you? Miro wasn't here for what? What is it that you're celebrating in Slovenia? Imagine letting everybody start their weekend early. Miro _ fart. Oh, yeah. Oh, fart, seen it. Oh, yeah, I have my caffeine. I got my caffeine. I can't, you guys, I'm gonna blame chat again. You guys loved on me a little too hard last week. There, I said it. And I have still not put myself back together again, like Humpty Dumpty. No, that's not what I said. I mean, listen, okay. Hey, you know how much I appreciate you guys. I just would never, ever in a million years want anyone to ever feel like that I don't appreciate what you do for me. The birthday of your nation's biggest poet. Do we even have anything like that here? I don't think we do that here. Help. Do we do that? I don't think we do that. We don't have a single holiday like that where a figure of cultural importance the day of their birth is a national holiday celebrated by anyone. No national holiday for Eminem. Poet, though. To me, that's, that's an active, yes, and that's also not a federal holiday, bah. Like, it's not a guaranteed paid or unpaid holiday. Happy birthday to me. That's interesting. You think about that and you're like, what must it be like to live somewhere where people would give everyone the day off to celebrate the birth of somebody who has cultural significance outside of now, don't get me wrong, MLK, there are some holidays, and I think it's important to celebrate, people who fight for rights for others and all of that stuff. But like, I don't know. Imagine if we just like celebrated Toni Morrison's birthday or like poet laureate, whatever. But we don't do that here. Yes, there are a lot of birthdays, including you. You're a February birthday, and 2 of my children, 2/3 of my kids, were born this month within 4 days of each other, actually. The 13th and the 17th, we're going to have birthdays in our house. I got to figure out what we're doing for their birthdays. They're getting to the point where like traditional kids' birthday parties are kind of no longer a thing. Oh, thank you for that, Miro. You don't think there is a biggest anyone in the US, to be honest. It's just so big. Yes. Hi, Reese Cup. Okay. So, why does this not show? I'm so confused. I am very confused. Hold on. I have to go to my own channel. Hold on. I have to go to my own channel. Hold on. I have to go to my own channel. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to pin the tab. I meant to. Why does it say 19 out of 20 new sub points now when Ian, you gifted and it said we completed the goal? Twitch, what's wrong with you? Yeah, now it says 20. I refreshed and it says 20. I am so confused. And how come it doesn't? All right. Twitch, help me out here. Help me, Twitch. Oh, and my overhead camera doesn't like it if I don't do stuff. If I don't tell it to wake up properly, then it says, oh, you must not be. It's a good thing. You must not be using the camera. I'm going to shut myself down. So now I'm totally ready, chat. I'm a professional. Please do try this at home. You probably do it better than me. So we raided out to Moco's yesterday, Miro. And you probably saw the VOD, and you probably would tell me. I mean, it was yesterday, so it's old news. But then they went to my VOD to see what I was doing, and they were like, "Hey, nobody told you the entire time you were out of frame." It is a dryer steak magnet. Very good. I thought so. I was like, I don't even know what's happening. They were like, yep, we couldn't see what you were doing like the entire time.
Help. We need somebody. Help. We need somebody. Help.
That was some incredible timing. That was some incredible timing. Robot Wizard, thank you so very, very much for tier 3, a tier 3 resub. And for 5 months. Thank you so much, Robot Wizard. Thank you. Listen, Robot Wizard. You don't come in here, Robot Wizard, with a tier 3 resub and not get the big red rubber chicken, okay? All right, everybody? This whole stream is a volume warning. Please, everybody, turn down your volume if you have headphones on, because we're going to give Robot Chicken a really big red rubber chicken squeeze, and then 5 baby rubber chicken squawks. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! This is how I serenade you when you resubscribe to my channel.
This is not a train.
It's
a train.
Thank you for starting a hype train. Choo choo, everybody. We got a hype train. Choo choo.
There's always a hype train in my heart.
It feels. Marinated. I don't think that's definitely a first for me. That's definitely a first for me, Robot Wizard. I'm pretty sure no one's ever told me that I made them feel all right. Okay. I'll pull it together. I have a very serious, a chronic case of Jimmy Fallonitis. I'm so sorry. Are the rubber chickens not how you chicken marinate? If not, I've been doing a lot of things wrong. Listen, I super appreciate all of you. I appreciate the hype train. You're at 77% of level 2. If you guys complete level 3, I have to get up and do 50 jumping jacks. Hi, Puffles. Hi, Toya. Hi, Catherine. And if you complete level 4, you guys get to vote and pick the onesie. And I have to wear the onesie until the hype train cooldown comes off. And then what else? Level 5 is a $10 donation to the charity of Chat's Choice. Just barely. I just barely finished the pig before I had to send Ramona off to the party. It was this, I mean, literally minutes before her ride pulled up. Anyways, yes. Yeah, it was crazy. Thank you guys very much for all the support. And also, you know, it's not something I'm really going to put like out there, on screen or in stream titles yet. If we get to halfway in a month, I might start commenting on whether or not we are, like how close we are to, the second tier of the Plus program, as they're now kind of changing things around. So this month we already have, according to the thing that's under the stream, we already have 39 points. I don't know if that includes your resub just now or not. It can take a second for it to reflect, but that's awesome for being like a week into the month. We're like a quarter of the way through the month, right? A little less than a quarter, or a little more than a quarter, excuse me. So, I mean, not, you know, again, whatever happens, but I think we'll be probably, I think I can safely say we'll qualify for the 60-40 if things stay about the same, which they've been pretty steady. You know, it's been within like a couple points of about 160 or so, for the last, like, I don't know, for a while now. So I'm thinking that will probably happen, and thank you so much to everybody who chooses, who is willing and able to support the stream themselves directly with a paid recurring subscription. Unfortunately, Primes and Gifted do not factor in whatsoever. So the Plus program is completely dependent upon people deciding to subscribe themselves. But I, again, only want you to do that if you can and you feel it's worth it. This is a free platform and I choose to broadcast here. I receive ad revenue from people who watch the stream that are not subscribed, which is a free way you can support people here. And also receive that same revenue from people who have a turbo subscription. Thank you guys for the hype train so much. And thank you very, very much for all that you do here, whether it's bits or gifting a sub, or like I said, spending your time in here, which is, you can't recoup that. You know, it's very important to me to make sure you feel appreciated for all of the various things that you do to support what we do here. Charity stuff, super important to me. We're gearing up for another charity campaign next month. Regrettably, I am not going to be able to throw my full weight behind that like I would like to, because of other professional and personal obligations. But that said, I will be participating, just only for the first week, and then we will be cheering our friends who are keeping their campaigns in the forefront on. And I think that that is also super important. When you care about a charitable organization and their mission, you are our team, fill in the blank. In this case, it's Starlight. Your team Starlight. And so if somebody surpasses your charity amount raised, you are celebrating. You are lifting them up. You are saying, look at you go. That's a teammate. Even if they're not on your charity team or your stream team. Because the point of what we're doing is helping those kids in the hospital, is putting smiles on their faces and making the jobs of the doctors and nurses easier and making the treatments more efficient. It is extremely important to remember to focus on that and not on our own individual numbers. It's all towards the same goal. It's fun to compete with each other in like a lighthearted and a friendly way. This is Twitch after all. We're all a bunch of gamers in one way or another, right? Like, you guys see me in Fortnite. I occasionally dance after eliminating somebody. I'm not above a little bit of light trolling, but like, you know, when I go in and I poke lovingly at like Blacklight and go like, hey, did you see our totals? It's more like, ha ha ha. I'm sort of like saying, hey, can your community top our amount? No problem, Toya. Like, but in a friendly way and totally because I love him and love that his community is so fierce. They like really pull out all the stops. Today is a good day to have a great day. There you go, Jaw. I love it. And I understand too, like some of you really wish that you could directly contribute to, one of our campaigns or someone else's, and you're just not in a position to do that. But it really does mean a lot to us if we're fundraising and people choose to be in the channel. So again, that is supporting the charity. If you are lending your viewership to a person supporting a charity, you are supporting that charity. We need to do a giveaway for a magnet. So I'm going to get that set up for you guys. And I think we still need to do one more sticker sheet. Excuse me. And 3 more. No, I think we did all the sticker sheets. Oh, Lord. I think we still need to do 3 more patterns, though. We're going to do the magnet first. Blapple called herself just a small Aussie, even though she helps run a huge charity stream team. I know, but, but that's just it. That's why Blapple and DJ are so awesome. They don't do what they do. Puffles, the fundraiser goes for the entire month, though. I understand what you're saying. That's the day. That's like the big day or whatever. But please don't. I might have to say this to you again, I bet. Don't feel badly about the fact that you don't have your equipment up and running. You can still participate all the way through the end of the month, okay? I know that's frustrating. I'm sorry, friend. Blapple and DJ do this because they love Starlight and they want to help other people be successful in their charity fundraising, not for any, accolades, attention, etc. for them. And I have mad respect for them both, and they really devote themselves. Also, there is another set. If you guys didn't know, if you're doing Mario Day, there are t-shirts. There's another bonfire campaign. I'll have to look it up unless somebody else has the fingers for that. What was I doing? Giveaways. Can you imagine if somebody came in here for the first time right now and they were like, why is she giving, what is Take Magnet in the chat, please. Oh no, did they already announce the finalists? And they didn't make it? Oh man, and I really tried to get everybody to vote for them. Hey listen, I'm sure they would both say this. Being nominated is pretty awesome. We got nominated the last time they did the Game Hers Awards for Charity and Creative Streamer of the Year, and only advanced. If you'd have asked me which one I thought we would advance for, I would have said maybe Charity. And we ended up winning for Creative Streamer, which was like mind-blowing to me. We tied with Shin Wong. And then they didn't even have that category this year. If you guys don't know, if you don't know what this is that we're giving away, it's this thing. It's an oversized magnet. I mean, you could put this anywhere a magnet will stick, I suppose, but I have one on my fridge. I sure do love you guys. Do you know that? Bunch of weirdos. But you're my weirdos. Oh, I can't fit that many words in there. I was going to say steak magnet giveaway does not contain real steak. Not edible. Kappa. Okay. And these just, you know, it's not like a daily goal or anything like that, which I'm not saying that people shouldn't have those. Just when there's 20 new sub points, I'll give another one away. It comes with a hamburger. Nobody said that. Guido, how are you? Oh goodness, I am so sorry, Smorf. Please, I hope everything goes well and, you know, keep us posted. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Zam. Everyone fart in solidarity with Smorf. We also will have show and tell in about 25 minutes if you guys want to post in there. I didn't see anything new. What's up, Conan? I didn't see anything. Hi, Karen. Can you imagine? Imagine this is like what you do. You go to work and this is what you do. Imagine explaining to people. They go, what do you do for a living? Yep. Type exclamation point enter in the chat to win this magnet. You do not need to be subscribed to the stream. You don't get any extra entries for being subscribed or anything like that at all. It is winter, Zam. Very good, Zam. Good job, Zam. I got Zam on stream. I know I did. He's stifled the laughter, too, which makes me think, like, he doesn't want anyone to think that they're funny enough to crack him up. I've got your number.
And I swear, and I yell, and it's because that's my personality.
He has a reputation to uphold. He has a reputation for being a poopy butt face, and he has to uphold it. Yay! Oh, Ian, I'm glad everything made it there. And I took time out of my busy schedule to come hang out with Zam, and then I had to go do something, right? Like, I opened up his stream, and I said hi, and I chatted for a little while, and as happens, I then had to be dragged away because I have 3 kids and 3 dogs and 2 cats and a husband and a whole house to take care of. In Zam's response, when I said, hey, BRB, I got to go put the kids to bed or something, he like gave me a farewell as if I was never coming back to the channel ever again in my life. I'm kind of surprised you didn't just ban me like you've done before. I was like, I'll be back, okay? Listen. All right. I'm so sorry. And he didn't think I was coming back, which happens. It does happen to me. I tell people BRB and I never come back because too many things are going on. I would not deny that that's the case. I would not deny that that's typically what happens. But I came back and I hung out in that channel for like the rest of your stream. Who'd you raid to? Zam has Zam abandonment. Absandament. Listen, Sam, you are my friend, and I do wish that I could come to more of your streams. I really do, guys. That you people that stream in the evenings, please understand, I love you so much. It's not that I don't want to be in your channels. I really mean this. Not just saying this to Sam. Sam's probably gone now. I probably killed our friendship just now. What little tiny shred of it was left. I can't be in everybody's channels in the evenings. I can barely be in one channel and it's on my phone. I have to be on mobile because I'm in the kitchen. I'm trying to help my kids with their homework. Who are we kidding? Kids don't have homework now. You know, I'm trying to do a lot of household stuff in the afternoon and evening. So I have to pick one stream. And so a lot of times also it has to be somebody who doesn't use profanity. I'm not just picking on Zam right now. A lot of people on Twitch, you know, even if it's not every other word, they allow it. That's what I was, yeah, but it's so hard. I love Pix. I love Zam. There's a lot of people I love watching and listening to, and I just can't have the volume turned up with my kids in their room because I still have littler kids. The older kids I wouldn't be too worried about. Like my 13-year-old, whatever. We're not super strict about that with our older kids, but it's a hard thing to do on this platform to keep that going, Ian. It really is. Okay, let's give this away. I really like hanging out with Zam. I think it's cool that we have people who have learned crochet while they've been streaming and want to share that regularly with their audience. Yeah, it doesn't work here. Go do it in Zam's chat. And this is a weird way to give somebody a shout out, I guess, but yep, and we need to get Lambo to do more crochet. Except, you know, there's the whole I see VTubers where you can see their hands, but then they don't have a face cam and they have their, you know, avatar or whatever. Lambo needs to do more. He could just pretend that that's his friend.
Aye, go. Aye, more passion, more passion, more passion, more energy, more footwork, more foot.
Hi, Connie. Welcome in. Okay. Do the thing. I'm going to draw a winner. You're all winners. But I do. I wish that I had more opportunity to spend time in. I can't even be in the channels I'm supposed to be moderating for at night a lot of the time. And then by the time I make it to those channels, they're ready to raid out because they've been streaming all evening after having dinner and they're ready for bed, or they have, you know, they have to because they have work in the morning and stuff. And then, you know, if I try to go hang out in a channel later in the evening when I finally have time, then people are pestering me about how late it is and shouldn't I be sleeping. And, you know, I understand. I know that it's not meant this way. But for those of us who, A, have very busy lives during the day and don't have a lot of time to ourselves, and B, also may struggle with insomnia, we don't really like the question, shouldn't you be asleep? Or isn't it late for you? And I've been trying to like gently put that out there, but it's like, I know what time it is. I'm fully aware and I'm an adult. I might not be able to fall asleep. And so I'm like, well, I may as well watch someone since I actually have time and no one else is awake and I can actually sit and enjoy conversation with other adults. You know, honestly, I understand that it comes from a place of concern for your well-being. I get that. There's a way to go about. Miro, you should write a book about this. He'll gently say something in chat like school night ? Not why aren't you in bed yet, 9? It's so late. What time you And I know that that's just him reminding me that it's maybe an idea going to bed, and he doesn't, but I don't feel like he's like If I say, no, I'm good, I'm okay, he doesn't keep going and he doesn't keep pestering me. I understand, though. I do get it. It's just like, dude, maybe this 2 hours at night between 10 and midnight, or maybe like 1 o'clock, is like the only time I get to myself to spend in channels and hang out and actually talk and be able to like work on some stuff quietly down here. So if you see me in someone's channel late at night, please just let me live my life. Let me have my time. You know, I do understand. It's not meant to put me on edge, but sometimes I'm like, yo, I don't need to be thinking about all the stuff I got to do tomorrow right now. I'm well aware. All right. Steve Snack and Smack Steve are in there now that we've established that. Because I understand it's not meant to, it's meant to be like, I care about you. And I do realize that. But like, just let a girl live, okay? 10, 9.5, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. You got one of the guys' Valentine's jerseys as a treat and you passed your probationary period at work. Let's go. So awesome, Connie. Congratulations. That's so awesome. Good for you. I'm not surprised. Ian! Ian, you win! 69 seconds, Ian. Don't you feed that worm. Don't you feed that worm, Ian. Ian, I know that you're here. He's going like this. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's fine. Conan, don't encourage.
What the heck, man? Why the heck? When the heck? Where the heck? Who the heck? How the heck?
What is even happening right now? Panda Art, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, readers. Panda Art, you are our first raid of the day, and we are now showing the video on our first read, or if it's somebody who hasn't raided for a long time, and I might introduce a thing where you guys can ask me to play the raid video for points, and of course, I'm sure everyone will do that whenever they see Blapple in chat. Thank you so much for raiding. You also get to pick my pair eyewear toppers. I really appreciate you. Welcome, readers. I hope you had a great stream, Panda Art. Tell us what you were up to today. And please enjoy this lovely raid video courtesy of our friend Jonathan X. Ruth. In case anybody's new to the channel, I do think it's an important introduction. A warning-tisement, if you will. Yes, equal parts warning label and advertisement. This is evidence of just how much we love our fart noises and our rubber chickens around here. Enjoy. I'm freaking out right now. I'm fangirling. You have no clothes on. No. Get supported, nerd. No flipping way. You didn't do it. Thank you for the dollar bills for the kiddos. Thank you so much, everybody. We talked about this.
I mean, you can cook steak in a dryer, but do you want to? And when the fat renders off of the steak, does it create a fire hazard? I'm sorry, I'm a mother. I can't help but think about these things immediately. So this is a game to you guys, huh?
What? You're doing so hard!
There's people out here with reputations at stake.
Instagram is what you use most. That's fine. That's great. That's lovely. We just gave away a magnet because we hit 20 new sub points. So I'm going to close this up. Congratulations, Ian. Will you please check your whispers, and I will send you a maybe just fill out the form. Wait. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense because I think I would pay processing fees on that. And it would send it to Connie? Are you sure? Everybody, please follow Panda's Instagram. And also, Panda's a fellow, that is so sweet, Ian. You are so nice. I thought you had one already, but like, I don't know. Maybe somebody thought it was really funny and you need another one to give to a friend. But you do. You need one to give to Connie. Connie, will you fill out the form for me? You're so kind, Ian. That's really nice of you. And I will get that out to you, Connie, right quick. I'm getting caught up on all the mail stuff now that I have a functioning printer. That is really nice. What a sweetheart. Unlurk, welcome back, Toya. What else was I going to say? How's it going, Cbus? How are you doing? How's your Mario piece coming along? So, speaking of Starlight supporters, we've got Panda in here. We've got Cbus. We have a lot of people right now in the channel who have supported Starlight with us before on Team Stream Stars or with maybe different charity teams, but are like, you know, Cbus is a fellow Starlight ambassador. So if you are still considering participating in Spring Stream, which is heavily focused around Mario Day on March 10th, there's totally still time to put together a campaign. And there's even still time, I believe, to register to receive pre-stream goodies. I think the deadline for that is the 14th, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you hop into the Starlight Discord and check it out. If you have any questions at all, of course, I will do my best to answer them as an ambassador. I'm more than happy to share my experience about fundraising for Starlight. This last time around during 12 days of streaming, we funded an entire Nintendo gaming rig as well as a handheld. And I'm not sure exactly which hospital they ended up at. I think it might have been Randall Children's Hospital again in Portland, which is the nearest, one of the nearest ones to me. Yeah, thank you guys so much. You're signed up for Mario Day. Let's go. I love working with Starlight, and I have a personal story. You know, something happened to me when I was a kid, which was the accident that cost me the top half of my finger, hence the username. In real life, people do not notice all the time and don't notice for months, sometimes even years. And it's too funny. And there's even people on the platform who still don't know why I'm called 9.5 that have known me for a really long time. I guarantee it. There's at least one person out there who doesn't know that that's why. But the worst part of the accident that cost me the top half of my finger was I got a really bad infection and ended up back in the hospital after amputation, a cast on my wrist, and down to my elbow, from my hand down to my elbow, because I had a hairline fracture in my arm, in one of the bones in my arm from the clock falling onto my arm after hitting my finger. Sorry, you know, I know this is hard to think about. But, you know, all of that is like, it was just a freak accident and it's really unfortunate. But if it were just that, it would be one thing. But then having to go back to the hospital for 2 weeks for IV antibiotics and observation was really hard. I was just bored. I was lonely. I missed my family. I missed my bed. I think that even though I was only 4, I kind of knew that it wasn't going to last forever. But it kind of feels that way when you're that little. Like 2 weeks is a really long time. And my folks came and visited me a ton. And, you know, eventually I got out, obviously, and went back to, you know, you know, life as a kid, just being a 4-year-old and stuff. But I did have to have follow-up procedures, and that stay in the hospital, you know, all of that was tough. And one of my nurses was kind enough and patient enough and recognized that I needed something to do to keep me occupied and taught me how to make tissue paper flowers and made sure I had art supplies and books and stuff like that. And that is exactly what Starlight does. They bring video games, VR, art supplies, books, custom hospital gowns that help the kids feel a little bit less, you know, hospital gowns are very, they're not very, like, it's just, even though it's not constricting clothing, it's still just, it's not your clothes. It's unfamiliar. So please consider fundraising for them, or at the very least, you know, if we're fundraising for them and you hang out, that is totally a way you can support. You can share our campaign. You know, we appreciate all of it. Of course, you know, those that can make financial contributions, it is like super duper appreciated and everything, but there's lots of ways you can help. So, but you know, if you're Panda Art, you know that. If you're C-Bus, you know that. If you're, you know, if you've been here with us through some of our campaigns, then you're aware. You've heard me talk about them before and how great they are and all the cool stuff they do. And I'm super excited. I'm really happy that we have, like, for example, Pix is joining us for Mario Day. My friend Amish Ace is on our team and is also an ambassador, and so is Blacklight, who's an awesome DJ streamer. And you know, Dynamite Twins and Smirky and Quiltoni and all these other people who we know that are, you know, quality streamers and artists and gamers, and they choose to devote their time. And a big part of that, if you ask me, is Starlight staff. The people who run the Discord and help streamers. And also, you know, we've even had Starlight CEO and other folks from Starlight and families that have benefited from Starlight in our chat. We are doing another Fortnite tournament with Kim. I need to remember to add that to the soon command. They really are. And Ian, they've done stuff in the past, like commissioned me for a prize for another streamer. Panda Art, did you want to pick my toppers? And we have ads incoming in about 5 minutes, so here's another reminder to submit in the show and tell if you want to. I have no idea how many stitches I have on here. Boop, boop, boop. Beep, 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 boo. Oh, thank you. Here, this is 20. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Lurking because you're dyeing your hair purple. That sounds fun. My whole thing with hair dye is like, it's fun the first time you have to do it. And then it's like, oh, wait, you mean I have to, if I want to keep it this way, I have to keep up with it like every however many weeks? Oh, boy. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Oh, Ian. I have a streamer for you on LiveSpace. Corey Artis. Coreyartus. And so I go in there, right here, like this. Yep. No, I did not. That is not what I was trying to do. Windows. That should take you there. Yep. So I went looking for creative streams. There were only 2 people streaming in the creative category or whatever on LiveSpace. Thank you, Miro, for the reminder about the ads, and then we'll do show and tell directly afterwards. And I went in there and I said hi and I started talking. And he did the same thing I do too, where you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you weren't talking for long. And I was like, no, I just got here, but I understand. And we start talking, and it turns out he has a master's in technical theater. He's in San Diego, where I lived when I was really small, but not since then. Oh, it's beautiful, Ian. Beautiful. And he's taken a bunch of courses about how to do various types of digital art, Ian, and he has a lot of really good experience with it. And I think if you are going to keep going with he uses Procreate. I know, another theater friend. He uses fruit or orange. I don't. I mean, pumpkin is technically a fruit, and I have pumpkin panda. I have a lot of them. Do you want to see them all? Yeah, whatever you want. So anyways, he is such a sweetheart. He's really wholesome and positive and a teacher, and he loves sharing his knowledge. So I know you're on that journey with the Procreate. You should definitely give him a follow on LiveSpace and hang out with him. I think he does have a Twitch profile, but he's concentrating his efforts on LiveSpace, and he mentioned a couple other platforms that I wasn't familiar with that are kind of more focused on art. And I understand. He was saying, he's like, I'm older. I have a specific thing. Like, he's like, I love anime. I love manga. Awesome. Everybody should. If you're on LiveSpace, please go over. And I mean, if you're not on LiveSpace, you can go over there and follow Corey Artis. And, there's this other dorky chick that streams over there sometimes. So there's already, anyways, now I'm not even going to get into that. Being dorky isn't a bad thing. I didn't say that was a bad thing. Skulls and Roses, Buffalo Plaid, 8-Bit Hearts, Cats and Yarn, ads are incoming. Pumpkin Pin Dot is the one I was saying that you might want panda art. You won't get ads because you have a sub. Thank you. Right? Yes, you do. Yeah. Courtesy of Maz. Thank you, Maz. What is this one? Arcade Maze, Pop Art, The Irises, Mint Sparkle, Coffee Beans, Batgirl, Cheetah Spots, Party Chicks, and Rainbow Knit. Pumpkin's fine. You got it. We'll make it simple. I'm not trying to make things difficult. I was just showing everybody since you asked about them. She's pretty cool, so give her a follow. So I realized one of the things I need to focus on doing, if I can find the time, they really do need a mobile app because I was on my phone and it is not the best experience, but is, networking a bit more with people on LiveSpace. And a lot of them also stream on Twitch. So that's totally, it's beneficial in more ways than one. But yeah, Corey Artis, and same name here on Twitch, but I don't think that he plans on streaming here anytime soon. But he was very kind and did come and give me a follow over here. I really want to help people who I think are looking for he commented, he was like, look, it's nothing against any of the people that make the kind of art that I saw was very dominant in the art category on Twitch. I just knew that it wasn't really maybe the best fit for me. So he's older. He's been a college teacher in the theater department for like decades, although he's getting ready to transition out of that role, but so good at digital art and such a sweet, very kind and engaging conversationalist, willing to answer questions about what he's doing, but also just chat, It's kind of spicier, not your type of art, and that's okay if it is somebody else's, right? We can have the opinion that it's not for us and not be about like bashing it, right? I'm right there with you. So I said, I made a joke about it's generally not anatomically correct for one thing, and he was laughing, and like, we were laughing about it, but I was like, yeah, it's not. I'm not against it in any way, but I can understand being an art streamer who doesn't do that kind of stuff and feeling like it's very hard to find your audience here, where the vast majority of streams, the category is very crowded with a particular type of art, whatever that is, right? And he even said too, he explained from an art theory like a professor would. Thank you for the reminder for filling out the form. You almost forgot. Oh, for Starlight, Ella. I love you, Ella. Yeah. So he even explained why, like, for example, in like anime and manga and all that stuff, that like it looks very like the characters all look very similar, like they are very similarly drawn, and that's because, what did he say? He said something about like Eastern art, there's a tendency to like, it's not, people aren't going to relate to characters unless they fit like a certain type of visual criteria. And I was like, oh wow, I never thought about that. I never thought about that. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, so that's where a lot of it comes from. Our ads are over. And while we were in ads, we were just kind of talking about that same person who I mentioned from Live Space. If you just got ads, thank you for sitting through them. I do appreciate it. We're going to do our Discord show and tell now. I'm trying, you guys, to stay on track today. It's a struggle for me sometimes, but I need to find some ways to like trick myself into it or whatever it takes. Also, oh man, does this count? I don't know. Connie.
Thank you for the sub.
Connie Crossing gifted a tier 1 sub to Glitzy.
Conan, why do you have to challenge whether or not I have to enforce a rule about showing someone's face on the stream
Connie
with
Crossing gifted
something
a
that's
tier 1
so
sub
fun
to
and
Makita.
exciting? Maybe, does it count if it's a
Thank you
3D
for the sub.
ultrasound?
Connie Crossing gifted a tier 1 sub to Bad Karma.
Oh, Bad Karma's a fellow St. Jude supporter. So there you go. Glitzy, Maquito, and Bad Karma, congratulations on your tier 1 gift subs from our awesome friend Connie Crossing, who's so generous and kind. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you, friend. And thank you for getting us started on this next 20 new sub points. And thank you for 89 gift subs in the channel. You're so sweet. I'm just happy you're here. Thank you very much, friend. Thank you for supporting the channel like that and for being so generous and giving those folks access to our sub emotes, ad-free viewing. And there are sound alerts that you get to play for free that you would otherwise have to pay bits for as another sub perk. So if you get a gift sub here, you get to use certain sound alerts for free. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate you. I don't know if I should show this picture. It's a gray area. You can see face details, but it's not like a photo of a child. Because do unborn children count? I think I'm going to say if you guys want to go there and look at it, there is a really cool picture in the Discord of Conan's unborn child. And because I just don't want to invite people to challenge whether or not this rule is being, you know, enforced consistently. I don't know. I understand completely the desire to share these things. I know that. Yeah, I'm going to say let's not, because I just don't want to invite the idea that, you know what I mean? I'm so sorry. Oh, man. I love that you posted it. I want to share it with us. Please, everybody, you know, like, just understand it's never easy to make these kinds of decisions when you know that somebody wasn't doing anything wrong or, you know, trying to like break the rules or something. That it's that like we're responsible for creating and enforcing rules, and when we're not being super consistent about them, if there's any doubt in your mind whether or not you should allow something, typically the answer is don't allow it. So it's nothing personal, and I really want everyone to go look and picture it didn't happen, and I want you to repost it in there, Conan, okay? It's a tough one. I've never thought about whether or not that would be a thing. Okay, but we do have some stuff in Discord, and I adore you, Conan. I really do. I hope you don't feel like I'm being unfair in some way. Thanks, Arid. Went to go see my best friend headline with his band at a sold-out show and saw some hockey friends too. That's awesome. Very fun. Everyone in all of your pictures is always wearing all black, Connie. You guys are all very stylish. I used to go to a lot of live concerts, so I'm really glad that you're able to like spend time, because, you know, now for me it's like I'm glad I did it when I didn't have kids. I'm really glad. Goth life, yes, absolutely. And you always have the most amazing lipstick, and it's always like expertly applied. And I'm like always so worried if I put on dark or bright color lipstick that it's crooked. Practice, right? You look like you're having a blast, and please never stop sharing all these photos of you having a good time, because I think if people see this stuff, it just, I don't know. I hope that it affects the people the way it affects me, which is like, heck yeah, Connie's out there and going to these awesome concerts and loves hockey, and like I'm so happy you share your passions with us. I really am. All of you. This goes for all of you. Like Seabus, who's really killing it with this cross stitch. Seabus, this is like no small project for someone who just came back to cross stitch. Oh, I understand. Plain clothing is easier to think about. Look at you go. Look at all that. From one picture to the next. So much progress. That whole section right here. Awesome job. And can we also appreciate how you are framing these photos almost identically, so that if you did want to, you could do like a time lapse of your progress? Is that what you're doing? Are you doing that on purpose? Oh yeah, Connie, did you hear that Ian wants you to have this magnet? So fill out the form for me. Okay, I'm so excited to send it to you. Here, in fact, This will help me remember to do it if I have it sitting out. Oh, Seabus, did you get a link already for your stickers? Let me check Whispers. Not yet. I don't think I've sent these out yet, this batch. Negative Ghostwriter. Seabus, Lunar Wolf, and Ali P. Ellipsis. I need to do their sticker sheet things. This is awesome though. I'm so hecking excited for you. This is very cool. First sketch you've done in your new sketchbook. We'll try to finish it this year. This is from Ella. Oh, this is beautiful. This is really lovely. Is it of a real life human? Is this someone you know? IRL or otherwise? Are you using a reference picture? Or are you just making it up? Ella's such a talented artist. Ella's good at everything. Out of your head. No, who needs reference pictures? I will not stop. Not ever. Never, ever. Never. Never, ever. Ella's going for walkies. Okay, I love you. Look, I'm not just saying it. Okay, I'm glad when anyone does art. All right? People should do art. They should make art if they want to make art. And no two people's journey with anything, right, is going to be the same. But like creatively, you know, it may take some of us longer to gain the same types of skills, etc. But I really love this quote from Bob Ross where he says, you know, I'm just going to paraphrase it now because I don't have it memorized. But he talks about how talent is just a pursued interest. And you can have natural inclination. You can be naturally adept at something where like you pick it up quickly. But if you don't practice it, someone else could totally overtake you in terms of skills. As long as they just keep at it. You know, I truly believe that. And some people will decide, you know what, I've tried this and it's enjoyable and everything. But it's certainly not like something I'm going to pursue like doggedly because it's very difficult for me. And that's totally a valid conclusion to come to. But if you really love doing something, natural talent, like whatever that means, right? Like there was a word someone used the other day where they were describing how a lot of us who were gifted students as kids, if we don't look at something and go, oh yeah, I'm going to figure that out right away, then we like just don't even want to try. I was like, oh, I feel very attacked right now. I mean, I've worked past that, I think, to an extent. Like one thing that really helped me with it was I had to take dance classes for my theater degree in undergraduate. And at first I was really worried because I was like, I'm not a good dancer. I'm not good at following choreography. And I had a teacher who was a demanding teacher for sure, but he really says, any of you can do this. Struggling with it at the beginning is not an excuse. If you really want to do this, then you can, but you'll have to work at it. And anyone should work. And he would be like, you need to work. But he wasn't, you know, so like if you were really good already, so he would ask questions. He'd be like, do you have background? Have you had instruction? And if they had, he would sometimes kick them out of his beginner class and be like, nope, you don't belong in here. You should be an intermediate. You're not giving yourself a challenge. I liked that guy. I thought he had a good approach to, you know, if you're good at something or if you have experience with it, you should be making sure you're giving yourself enough of a challenge. But like, we often want to give up before we even start if something seems like it's something we wouldn't naturally be good at. And sometimes you need time. And also, sometimes we prefer to just be very relaxed about something, to do it as a hobby, and to do it in our own time and not grind. And that is also perfectly okay. I don't have it closed yet. So if you'd like to, go ahead, Tolish. I'm just counting stitches. That's why I'm quiet. And we do this pretty much every stream. I try to remember to do it every stream. If I forget, you know, then we just look at it the next time. Or some days, you know, like if we have guests on or something like that, or we're doing some other kind of a special event, we may not do it, but that's why you loved your college art professor. He would just set stuff up in the studio and go draw it. Didn't matter how you did it or what style. He was super supportive. You miss him. Yeah. I don't think that I hear knocking, but I'm going to go check really quick while you're doing that, okay? This is a filter. That's that is quite the filter. Yes. Oh, Tallish, this is so stinking adorable. Very cool. Nice detail. I'll be right back.
Another one.
Thank you for the sub.
Connie Crossing gifted a tier 1 sub to Tolish. They have given 90 gift subs in the channel.
Oh. Is this a pet? Is this a pet portrait? Who is this little cutie? Thank you. It was just door-to-door sales type stuff. I mean, they're brave around here, man, I'll tell ya. Connie, you sweetie. Thank you, Connie. I see it. Connie, that's very kind. Thank you so much. Thank you for gifting that tier 1 sub. To our friend Tolish, that's very kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy your emotes, Tolish. This is Lou. Such a cutie. We have little dogs. I never had little dogs. Well, we didn't even have dogs at all growing up. 122. I'm at 122. I need 196 stitches here. I think I should be good as far as... Thank you for sharing. I love this. This is adorable. Thank you all for... sharing your talents and, you know, fun stuff. Oh, of course, I scroll up far enough for everybody to see it anyway. Of course. I didn't think to take it out of there. It's okay. I love that we want to share that. It's just so hard. It's like, I don't like making borderline gray area decisions like that, but you're partying. All right. Okay. You've been doing pet portraits. It's kind of taking off, so hopefully it keeps up. You loved how this one came out. What kind of dog is Lou? So not your pet, someone else's? Oh no. Now I'm going to have a hard time getting these back on here, aren't I? Ja, thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, that's awesome, Tolish. Yeah, I was just gonna say, is it a Palm? Hey, Space Hobo. Oh, I have a question for you. So, I might need to take that picture down because I don't think I have that neon green anymore. The lime green is a little bit of a darker green. Let me show you. For your mic cover. And thank you again for unfortunately, I can't get a hold of that color anymore. Not very easily. I'm not gonna pay a markup for it. They don't make it anymore.
Access granted.
I was wrong! I was wrong! I was wrong. I didn't think I had any more of this. I have enough to make like one cover probably. Is this what you want though? It's real bright. If you like this, that's great. That's totally great. This it's awfully bright. It's very bright. I don't mind that either myself. I like bright colors, but I just want to make sure this works for you. Well, and it's not even necessarily about just using what I have. It's, yeah, sure. I think this is definitely a brand color for Space Hobo, but I just want to make sure this isn't too bright for you. Black and this, so you want a black trim for it, right? Yeah, the other color I have is more of a grass green or like an actual lime green. But this is like a very bright, like a neon green. Cool. Yes. And these don't take terribly long for me to make at this point. I've made so many of them. I'm like tempted to drop what I'm doing right now and make it for you right now. But I promised myself I would get this sweater cast on. What are you doing tomorrow? If you want to swing by tomorrow, I'll probably work on that tomorrow or maybe tonight. I don't know. I went to bed. I fell asleep at like Ramona went off to her birthday party. The mom who was going to give us a ride was like, oh, are you? She's like, you don't have to come. And I was like, are you sure? She's like, no, not at all. I'll take them. I'll be there at the party place with them. I was like, are you? Yeah. And I like went inside and it was like almost not quite 4 o'clock and I fell asleep for like 2 hours. Oh, Ian, the only problem I have with that, right, is okay, so if it's a microphone that has like a top to it and doesn't have the cord coming out the back like a snowball, I mean, it's possible. I told myself I was only going to lay down for 30 minutes and it turned into 2 hours. This is why naps are dangerous for me, though, because then I had a hard time telling myself to go to bed. And I did go to bed, but I still didn't fall asleep till like 1 o'clock. And so then I sort of still felt like I was underslept when I woke up. Well, you must have needed it, Panda. You know? But yeah, I know you're not in a rush. I know you're not in a rush, friend, but I very much appreciate your support. Why won't these stitches slide back on here? It's because it's the cast on. And I didn't think to do the stitch markers until I'd already... Everything loosens up so much more after you get the first row done. Come on. They don't want to slide over this part right here where the cable joins with the needle. And I don't usually use stitch markers, but I'm thinking that I might have to start doing that because it's just really frustrating and annoying when you're like trying to cast on stitches and you have to keep counting over and over and over again. So I used some stitch markers every 20 stitches. Okay, now we're good. This is 123. I get nervous about things, you know, Ian, that I don't have access to where it's supposed to be a form-fitting piece. So let me take a look at it. Will you send me the name of the microphone, like the brand and the make / model, and I will see if I can find I need the dimensions, obviously. So, I mean, it looks like it would work. So, another thing is like, I make a windscreen that works great as a pop filter for a Blue Yeti because it is such a powerful, like it picks up so much stuff. But another thing you guys need to make sure you do is look up whether or not there's some info out there if you're using OBS on filters for your microphone, because like I love making them and it's fun to have color coordinated stuff, but the vast majority of my clientele are ASM artists because they really love being able to have customized stuff for their setups. 8, 10, 12. Here's another. See, this is how I should have been doing it, is to do that. And then, so that's 140. And then we'll do it after another 20. Just get a 3D printer and print a model and then make... Oh, yeah. Doing needles, I took my... the only way I was able to finish that Minecraft plushie yesterday was to take the project with me to the school, and I took it in my project bag that you sent me. Thank you again, friend. Thank you so much. How are you doing today? How's your day going? How's your Thursday? Ooh, 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 ayo. Connor, did you hear me talking to you earlier, or were you otherwise occupied? I was like very torn about the picture you posted in Show and Tell. I was very torn because it's not technically, it's why do you gotta test me with what's the gray area about pictures of miners and their faces? Not people who mine, chat. Not people who use pickaxes to hi Tolkien, hi Tashwin. Welcome in, both of you. I was like, oh my god, does this count? Technically not born yet, so not even a minor. Okay. Is wifey okay with you coming into Twitch streamers chats and blasting pictures of your unborn child? I love ya. I love that you guys are expecting, and I'm excited for you. Don't take it the wrong way. You have the afternoon off as you're doing 4 hours of volunteer on Saturday. Mandatory you do 4 quarters. So you went grocery shopping and took out the garbage before the freezing rain and snow this afternoon. So is it volunteering if it's mandatory asking for a friend? I mean, I'm only kidding because I think volunteer work is great. I guess, you know, you sign up for the job and they tell you this, I'm sure, at the time that you take the job, but... And I don't see you as the type of person who would fight it in any way, but... I just find it funny when they say it's volunteer work, but it's mandatory. Is that really, you know? In order to be able to get your max raise, volunteering is required. 16 hours for the year. And I mean, it might very well be enjoyable. And that's not an outrageous amount of time. 4 hours a quarter is probably fairly doable for most people. You know, but like I gotta wonder too, this is probably, you know, a thing where they like get to talk about how their company does that. Oh, you're doing charity knitting on Saturday. I'm really glad it's something you love. That's amazing. You see what I'm doing right now? I'm casting on this sweater again for probably, I think, the 3rd or 4th time. Because I think the first time I cast it on with the wrong size needles. $18, $19, $20, and then, all right, going back again, figuring this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 180. Okay. Enjoy the sassy hand. You know, that might be the same microphone that my friend has that I made one for Lily. Oh, yeah. All right. It's an unborn child. We will show it on the screen. Ultrasound picture is okay as long as you assure me you've obtained permission from, you know, the other person involved, because it is their child and their body. And there's also no identifying information. We've had people occasionally put stuff that shows your personal info with like what do you call it? Like your date of birth or something like that on screen. Not so much. I mean, I know we talk about, it's not like age talk is strictly forbidden in here, but look at this cutie. I'm excited for you, Conan. It's not like you'd be able to pick this child out of a lineup after it's born either. It is detailed. And I mean, my God, how crazy is it that you can do this? I still find these a little bit funky because I don't think that we were allowed to get these with my insurance. But it's so crazy to be able to see like detail like that and stuff. But congratulations, Conan. I'm so excited for you. I'm excited for you and wifey, and I'm just glad pregnancy is going well. At least it seems like. And I hope that your wife is feeling all right. They creep you out. They're a little strange looking to me, but man, my mom didn't have a single ultrasound with me, so this is relatively new technology as well. If your newborn child is in a lineup, hey, look, you know, some kids are just really advanced, and, you know, that includes in ways that maybe we might not want them to be, RC, but, you know, it just takes some time for them to, you know, get it together. Okay. I always try not to cast on too tightly, and then I just fail every single time. I mean, it's not that tight, but it's maybe tighter than I want it to be. Okay, there's 16. So let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 180 plus 16 is 196, which is the medium size. But then we need to pull. I always get mixed up at this point. This is the part that's the hardest for me to wrap my head around, is I have to start knitting this way. Me. And I've done, I knitted exclusively for like almost a decade before I found Twitch and started crocheting a lot again. So it's funny how, like, even if it's something you've done a ton of, sometimes there's certain things you struggle to remember every time. You get on there. Did I, like, what's wrong? Is this Amigurumi? Has Amigurumi done this to me? I don't usually make a lot of things for myself. I started this 3 years ago on stream. I even gauge swatched. Who is she? Come on. Terrible about gauge swatching. Oh my goodness. This is driving me nuts. I should just take these all off of here because I don't need all of them. now that I know that I have the right number of stitches. So it's helpful for that, but then they're like all just in your way. Now, I live in Oregon where, yes, it's almost time to start planting seeds directly in the ground, but it also stays cool and rainy for like ever. And ever and ever and ever. So like, even though this is a wool sweater, it'll be a short sleeve sweater, but it'll still be appropriate till like probably maybe even sometime in June or July, depending on the weather. Oh my goodness. Typically, September is the third hottest month of the year here. We do occasionally get years where it gets cooler faster, you know? It's like anywhere else. Every year is different. We had 3 years in a row of La Nina, and I guess this is supposed to be an El Nino year. Can you waterproof yarn or make it more water resistant? Yarn is, what is it? Hydrophilic or hydrophobic? Wool. Wool can hold how many times its weight in water? You made an oopsie on your Sonia sweater. It absorbs water, I believe. Or wicks it. It wicks water. You made an oopsie on your Sonia sweater. Now I need to make sure this isn't twisted. Nothing worse than getting through the first round of, you know, like ribbing or something like that. And you're like, oh, great. It was twisted. So you have to make sure all of the loops are on top and the other part of the stitch is at the bottom. And then when you're like me and you are paranoid and you make too big of a tail, way too big of a tail for a long tail cast on, you have to make sure you don't start knitting with the tail and that you're knitting with the working yarn. This is a really old pair of fixed circulars too, so.
The undisputed Ravelry pattern queen of Twitch.
Hi, Emerald.
Burning Emerald.
Also, think positive thoughts for our friend Fairy Wings, you guys. I love you, Emerald. Fairy's home from her procedure, and last night I got updates from Lily and Svava. Fairy's doing well, but please, you know, keep her in your thoughts. And I don't know when she'll be back to streaming, but we want her to take her time with that. Oh, wait. So I need to put... Oh my goodness. Did I do this way too tightly? Am I going to have to do it again? No, 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 no. There you go. Stop that. Urgh. Okay. And now what kind of ribbing is it? Hello? 9? K2P2. Before you start, know what you're doing, maybe? Maybe? Yeah, I know there's lots of different ways to do it. This is just the way I know how to do it. So, you can totally send it to me. I'm not averse to trying other things. I just, you know how it is. It's like, oh, I already know how to do this one, so I'll just do this because I know it. Oh, I already didn't do the thing. I already didn't do the thing. What is the thing that you told me to do once upon a time dueling needles on the first round? And I totally didn't do it. To not have that gap right there at the beginning. Oh, I love you too, Kimmy. Thank you for the lurk. It's like when you're knitting in the round, you like do one extra. Was that you? Dueling needles? I can't remember. No! Don't split. Come on now. I might have pulled this back just a little bit far here. It's a bit tight. Oh, this first round. It's the worst. No. So slow and just difficult. Oh, hi, Kat. I love you too. I hope you're doing well. I'm glad you check in with us every so often in Discord. Big love to you, friend. I hope you're doing well. So hard to tell sometimes if you're doing this properly, right? Purl, knit, purl, knit. Yeah, this is a... Yes, this is a purl stitch. Supposed to be a purl stitch. And then another one. Good. I get nervous on this first round that I'm not doing it properly and not setting myself up, you know, for the ribbing. It's like, it's pretty easy once you're established in there with the ribbing. What is it, RC? What's the matter? Why are you sighing? Are you okay? RC, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, RC? What's the matter? Oh, that's always good. Nothing like company announcing a new product feature. Warning boss and coworkers the feature is implemented wrong for like 3 weeks. Getting told, but it works for me. Classic tech comment. And then, bleep, hits the fan and they're like, what? Why did it break? And you literally repeat it and they're like, OMG, it is broken. Oh, man. I am sorry, RC, that they're not listening to you. And, like, you're like, hey, I just want to do my job. I'm not here to, like, you know, say I told you so, but I did. Right? Thank you, Ella. And thank you if you just got an ad break. I really appreciate it if you stayed through the ads. It's very helpful. I know they're not the funnest thing on earth, but oh, guess what I found on TikTok? So a bunch of my audios are muted. Saribot has dad jokes? A bunch of my audios are muted now, you know? So they'll let you change the audio to something else after the fact. Go ahead, RC. Right. But so I had made a video of the crochet chick with the booty. And so Baby Got Back is not on there anymore. But guess what I found on TikTok that I replaced the sound with on that video? Two Butts is on TikTok, you guys. Two Butts is on TikTok. You come into chat and you hear booty. I mean... No, cat! No. You guys, Two Butts is a sound on TikTok. You're back now, but you're doing good. You like your job. You're kicking butt at it. Salem is doing good. You have a few rock shows lined up this year. Hoping to find some more since that you're happy, please. Oh, thank you. Yes, we're doing all right. The kids are all right. I'm just, hey, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that some things are going your way, and you deserve happiness and to be able to go out and enjoy yourself. You work hard. I love ya. I'm glad you pop in here and pop into Discord. I miss our mutual friend, but I think he's just super busy. No snow here. We did have some a little while back, but it's all gone now. Thank goodness, because unfortunately we are not very well equipped to deal with that type of weather. We're a temperate rainforest, it doesn't snow in the valleys here very often. Up in the mountains, sure, but that's, elevation, and people who live up in the mountains are prepared for it. We are not prepared for our roads to be like covered in like 4 to 8 inches of snow. It shuts everything down for us. Schools, businesses, everybody, nobody knows how to drive properly in it. So if you guys don't know about Two Butts, that's our friend Giraffe Killer who came in here. There's some clips of me like singing along to Two Butts. It's a really funny song. And you should definitely give it a listen and go subscribe to Giraffe Killer on YouTube. You got a couple of inches of snow today. Yeah, I mean, I feel like actually our weather here is, from what I understand, because I've never been there, it's quite similar to the UK and Ireland. I mean, we get a little bit more of the marine influence where I am, being only about an hour from the coast, an hour's drive, but it's not, we're not quite what I would consider coastal right where I am. Although we do get the odd, little seagull or whoever. We get sea lions that come down the river from the ocean. Yeah, a lot of rain. But, like, not dumping rain all year. Like, we have more days with precipitation, not more inches than a lot of other places. I'm pretty sure there's parts of Texas and Hawaii that get way more rain than we do. We don't get tropical downpours usually. Yeah, cat. You just realize you're going to need to start setting up the incentives in another picture for Mario Day, yes. Indeed. You think northern Wisconsin gets hit with snow harder than you do down there. You're in Milwaukee, so that's southeast by the lake. You get a good amount of, get a good amount of snow, but it's been weirdly foggy lately. Hey, Connor. How's it going? Can we get a fancy shout out for our friend Connor who does food and drink content out of the UK? We were just talking about the UK. How you doing today, Connor? Super fun, very wholesome channel. Lots of good-natured ribbing between Connor and his uncle, Richard Bam, who also streams on his account. Oh no, Danielle. Best friend Danielle, how are you? So happy to see you, friend. Come on now. No, this is not a Boss Kitty color. This is from my friend Ridgely, who dies under the name Astral Bath. ASTRAL space bath, like a dye bath, on Etsy. And I don't believe that Ridgely sells her yarn anywhere but Etsy, to my knowledge. And I think I determined what this was once upon a time, and I don't know why, but I don't have any of the labels still. I think it might be Blueface Lester. It's 46 where I am. 46 degrees Fahrenheit. What is it called again? Here's the Ravelry page for her yarn. It's not sport. Is this Mercury? No, that's 100% merino. It's not 100% merino. Oh, I can't remember. Ooh, woo, ayo. Hi, Zundi. This is where having all of my stuff actually entered into... I don't remember what this was called. Maybe I could look in my purchases. Because you're not going to be the only one that asks, so you're not putting me out or anything. Purchases. No, I'm not trying to search all of Etsy. Search your purchases. Oh, for crying out loud. I know I reviewed it too. Murasaki. Murasaki. Is it 100% merino? Murasaki is the name of the colorway. Murasaki. No. Tesseract Murasaki. 75-15-10 merino cashmere silk. I'm pretty sure that's what the blend is. Tesseract is the name of the... It's not Transformer, is it? Oh my god, she has so many bases. It could be this 70-30 merino silk. Oh my god, I don't even know. She got a lot of people that will buy from her over and over and over again. I'm seeing the same usernames over and over and over again. Once you buy yarn from her, you're doomed. When did I even buy it? She has one. I can't even say it because we're supposed to be PG-13. I was one of her very first customers, and the name of the yarn is what sold me. Ooh, that Venus and Furs. This would be your cup of tea. The Ethernite is kind of a blurple. It's a little more blue. Lots of custom orders. She gets lots of people that ask her for custom orders. There's a reason for that, because she's just a wizard with color. It's amazing. Did I buy this yarn on the other Etsy account? Yeah. Maybe I did. It's merino cashmere silk, 75-15-10. It's Tesseract. I bought 3 skeins of it. That's good to know. She's got almost 1,800 sales. She's doing something right. Yeah. Yes. No, I don't, Ian. I think that I just thought that I was going to restart Fresh Slate or something on Etsy. I don't remember, but I had more than one account for a while. Although you could do that, you know, if you want to buy stuff from people and then not like, and share your home address, but not be using your like creator name. Might not be the worst idea for some people. I have a P.O. box now. But yeah. It's really hard for me to see what I'm doing. I'm trying to scooch forward. You should check out what she has for sale and buy stuff from her. She's amazing. If you're a knitter or a crocheter. And I think she does both. I appreciate you. I know you're just letting me know. I also had a browser window up covering up OBS so that I couldn't see the video preview. So thank you for letting me know. Oh, this is the worst. It's so slow. I'm not even halfway through. Come on. So just so you know, if you decide you're going to take up knitting, all right, you see, I'm struggling with this part of it, but I know that, so like when you're struggling with something, you'll be like, oh man, am I going to, figure this out or whatever, right? So one of the first times that I was trying to do a piece like this where I had to put like a bunch of stitches on and then, get through this first, like you're like, oh, it's never going to end. And then, you find out it does and you get there and you do it and you feel really good about that. And that's what keeps you going the next time that you're like, oh, I hate this. Because you're like, okay, this isn't forever. So please don't feel bad if you're like learning something new and it's hard because, it's like Gigi Made It says, it's not new or it's not hard. It's just new. You're just figuring out how to do it. And that first time is going to be especially difficult, but it'll get easier the more times that you do it. And there's also just going to always be some parts of the process that are a little bit more challenging. This first row after casting on, such a pain. Frustrating on any project. Beginning tension, breathe and power through. Yes. I have done a lot of socks, but it's been a really long time, so I'd love to get back into doing some sock knitting. Come on. And again, the join on this fixed circular, I didn't want to buy. I have minor regrets buying the Addies that I bought because they only go down to a size 4, but I like that they're twist on and that you don't need a key. I'm like really worried that I'll, if I get interchangeable needles that involve a key, that it's going to be like a point of stress for me not losing that extra piece of equipment. But I don't know. Knitters, how do you feel about having to tighten your tips with a tool? You can always use a paper clip if you lose the key. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I've never had interchangeables that used a key. You like your Chalgoos? Yeah. I like the double points. Somebody gifted me some double-pointed Chalgoo needles. And I use them to make the baby booties for baby Ray. And the hat, actually, I think. If I remember correctly. And then I thought that Moni lost a bunch of them, and I had to apologize to her when I realized that she had opened the case while I was gone to TwitchCon, and some of them had fallen out, but she had actually found every single one and put them back in. It's just that she had put them back in out of order, and she had put 3 of them in some of the slots instead of 2. So it looked like there were needles missing, but there weren't. What's thrown? You mainly use 9 inches for your socks, but you're not opposed to just one way of knitting. You use DPNs on the heel and heel turn. And to start the gusset, and then magic loop to finish the toe. Many of the socks I've done have been toe up. No pun intended. I kind of like toe-up socks. You just have to make sure you use a stretchy bind-off. There's a really good book if you do get into sock knitting and you want to be able to make highly customized, like tailored to fit an individual person's foot shape, not just their shoe size, but like their foot shape. There is a really great book called, okay, good. It's called New Pathways for Sock Knitters by Kat Bordy. And her last name is spelled Bordhi. And if, you know, like people who have been involved in knitting for a while would know Kat Bordy's name probably. She passed a while back. You just find the 9-inch needles to go fairly quickly for you. You have actually not made many toe-up socks. You have a couple, but you've never actually finished them. Interesting. I like the toe-up construction because I find the toe and the rest of the foot to be the difficult part. So if I can get past that, then knitting the leg and the cuff is easy. I want to get the tough part out of the way, or else I end up with like really bad second sock syndrome. You've never had an issue with using the key to tighten your interchangeables. You just try to keep extra keys in a known location so you can find them back. But a paper clip works just fine in a pinch, or something like a jar gripper to give better grip. You don't have much trouble with them unscrewing if you get them good and tight at the start. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do like that the Addies like lock in place without a tool, but they only, like I said, they only go down to a size 4, I think. And that's just, I think, due to the nature of having like the whole mechanism contained within the tip instead of, you know, something where you tighten the outside of it. We're getting there. We're almost, I want to say like maybe about 3/4 of the way through. 196 stitches is not like, it's not the biggest cast on I've ever had to do in knitting, but how you doing, Puzzled? Welcome in. What kind of stuff do you like to knit, Kasara? Like lots of different things, or do you have a specific item that is a go-to? I think knitting is great for clothing and blankets, depending. See how much easier it is to get the stitches on once they're from a round that's already been worked. You have many interchangeable sets across multiple brands, and they've all worked well. The only set you don't really love is just because it has the short tips, and they don't agree with where your hands rest. Yeah, I haven't tried the super short tips. I don't think I would like them. Oops. Uh-oh. Did I just do... This is supposed to be a purl. Tink that backward. Just the one stitch, and we're getting so close to being done with this first round. You haven't knit anything recently, but you always really enjoyed was making the crescent-shaped lace shawls, especially patterns by Boo Knits. I have trouble with lace. I don't have the concentration for it to finish like a big lace project. I get bored and I put it down. It's not even boredom sometimes. I'll just get distracted, right? I'll have other things going on and I can't work on it for a while, and then picking it back up again just feels impossible. It's like, well, I don't remember where I was, and I can't just, I'm gonna have to like dig through the pattern to figure out where I stopped. And one thing that would be helpful is for me to attach notes to projects when I set them down that tell me like exactly where I stopped. Come on now. So in this pattern, you use a smaller, in a lot of patterns, you'll use a smaller size needle to work the ribbing, to give it a nice, make sure that it stays, what's up, Sam? Make sure that it stays nice and that it cinches tightly and all that, that it's not too loose and it's nice and neat. And then you switch to a little bit larger size needle once you start working in like the stockinette. And stockinette means all like the V's instead of the bumps when you're learning to knit. You usually learn, if you're knitting flat, you're going to learn garter stitch, which means you knit every row, you knit every stitch on every row. And because you're flipping back and forth, you're going to end up with like rows of bumps instead of rows of V's. If you work every row, knit stitch all the way across in the round, you'll get stockinette. Try to make sure I don't split this yarn. That's you with Advent shawls. You love to make them, but you don't have the time to just sit and work through at least one color. What you loved about her patterns was as long as you put your stitch markers in every pattern repeat, typically every 12 stitches for her patterns, it was repetitive enough to start to memorize the pattern. But each row was different from the previous row, so you didn't get so bored. Okay, then sit for months and end, and you can't help but buy more Advents. That's a struggle. It is a struggle. Not me going, I'm out of that pink color I was going to use for the Minecraft pig yesterday. I clearly need to put $140 worth of yarn in my cart on Hobie, and I did not submit the order. Like the last thing I need right now. It's not my fault they have Baby Snuggle on sale. It's okay, though. It can wait. Unless somebody wants a specific commission. It's that, well, I gotta hit the free shipping threshold mentality, right? And like, do I really need like 12 or 16 more skeins of that yarn? Yeah, I'm on probation. I'm on probation. They always have Baby Snuggle on sale. No, I'm on probation. Pretty soon I'm going to be actually trapped in my basement by all the yarn, so house arrest. Don't even want to talk about Gengar right now. We don't talk about Gengar. I want to work on Gengar. I just... It's such a production. It's not like, okay, I'm just going to follow this pattern or, oh, hey, if somebody wants to buy something from me or whatever, you know? What is going on here? Okay, pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl. Yay! I have the right number of stitches left on my needle. Look, there's a lot that could go wrong in 196 stitches, and I'm not saying like that this is a guarantee that I did it perfectly, but I think I did it right. Oh, until just now when I let... No. 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 When I dropped a stitch. Ah! I'm sorry, I'm not drinking that water till I fix this. You might have to remind me. I grabbed it. All right, now. Hi, Anna. How are you? Anna. So now also something that happens once you get past that first round, right, is like, okay, the stitches are so much easier to work with. They're like not as tightly, like it's not so hard to insert your needle, etc. But you also can see like pretty easily if you're kind of paying attention somewhat to the stitch underneath, you can see how the pearl stitches have the little bump at the front of them, and the knit stitches have the little V. So if ever you're like not sure if you're doing it right, you could just pull this so you can see it and go, yep, I have all the bumps on top of each other and all the V's on top of each other. Because sometimes it's, you know, it's easy to accidentally do 3 pearl stitches or 3 knit stitches or only 1 knit stitch. And then that's going to mess all your stuff up if you count correctly from that point forward. So you have to like make sure you're kind of occasionally checking. It is possible to go back and fix it, but nowhere near, like, it's certainly not easy to fix that type of mistake later, because you have to basically undo a whole ladder of stitches till you get to the point where you made the mistake. Oh, butt spot. You got butt spotted. And it's been a minute since I knitted the stuff for baby Moko. Hey, Pop Time used our emote. How fun. Hi, Kay. How are you doing, Kay? You just reminded me that I have candy because Puffle. My sister, that's how we used to claim candy, is we would lick it. What invite is that, Rusty? What'd you get an invite for? Rusty, I don't think I'm going to be able to go this year. I'm so bummed. I'll be there in spirit. Thank goodness no, Ian. Anna, this is, if you type exclamation point project, it'll give you some info. It's a sweater for myself. Or a blouse. I am so glad I was able to go last year and meet you and Lady and Bad Karma, who got a gift sub earlier from someone incidentally. So I was thinking about Summit and meeting you guys and Chef Steve and Jester and our friend C Sharp Fritz and tons of people who I really love, but Space Cat and gosh, so many. And I met new friends while I was there, which was really cool. And I got to meet Vari, and you know, it was really an experience. Chick Drummer 88 and I became friends at Summit. Like in the airport on the way home, in fact. So, and I got to meet Air Force Kitty, and I even found Air Force Kitty in the airport on the way, like waiting for our connecting flights. I know! We didn't get to hang out very much at TwitchCon, but we at least got to say hi in front of the St. Jude booth. This is too good. I'm going to have another couple of pieces. Why is it so good? Is it for longer then? See, that's even more problematic for me if it's more than 2 or 3 days. You're not bothering me. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I can't do it. Unfortunately, I just can't. I can't. Our only employee at the shop is part-time now because we had to like talk to him and be like, hey, you know, we want you here, we want you to be part of the business, but we just can't afford to pay someone else. Like, you know, for the first, I don't know how long we were open, we were paying him and not ourselves, which we were happy to do, and we love him and he's family. But eventually that was just not, no. That was not a tenable, like, permanent situation. Because my husband was no longer working for the grocery store. So we'd be like, hey, you know, we got to figure something out. Well, then he took like a full-time job, which again, he needed to do. He had to do what he needed to do. You're not pestering me. You're helping me. What was I going to say? We have ads coming in about 4 minutes, and I am actually going to take a quick break and step away from the computer. I need a bio break, but oh, nerfing Miro. Okay, I was like, what did I say now? I didn't apologize or anything. Just, you know, it's not just like the childcare and stuff. Like, we have an older kiddo now, but I'm just not sure if I'm ready to leave him in charge of siblings for, like, extended periods of time. It's one thing to, like, run to the store. It's another for them to be on their own all afternoon and evening, you know? And we're just not in a position, like, you know, I wish that we actually have family in Tennessee. I wish that we could, like, be like, okay, well, we're just going to take a family vacation and they're going to go, like, that would necessitate closing the shop, which we just, like, can't justify doing yet. We're kind of working on a situation where that sort of thing would be possible, because we can't, like, not ever be able to go on family vacations and stuff like that. April. It also coincides with what might end up needing to be some dates that we have to use for some stuff that I have going on with the other job. All right, we got ads in 2.5 minutes. Running regular ad breaks on the channel helps me pay my bills. Some months it's actually enough. Depending on what we've got going on in the channel, it can even be enough to, like, pay a whole utility bill or something like that. Or two. Shoot. No, don't do it. So that stitch went flying off of there. It was like, I don't want to be on here anymore. Yeet. It yeeted itself off. And then it turns off pre-rolls for anyone who joins us without a subscription. Like, maybe they're trying to check the channel out. Maybe they love hanging out in here, but they just can't afford to subscribe. Maybe they choose to support in other ways. And then that way, when they come in to join us, they don't have to wait through ads to access the content. And we try to at least announce that they're coming to give you guys a heads up. So it's not like an out of the blue interruption. And it says another minute or so till those ads start. So I'm trying to, I don't think I can get through this. I was going to see if I could get through this round. Oh, yeah. Oh, Rusty, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. But yeah, exactly. Like if you have other stuff going on, I know they understand and everything, but like, hey, it was an enjoyable experience. And I think if you, you know, as a charity fundraiser, if you are offered the opportunity to go in to see in person how what you're doing is being used in like a concrete fashion, like IRL, go to the facility and see, you know, people working and researching and, you know, patients walking around with their families and all of the beautiful spaces they provide for people at St. Jude and, you know, see how nice and clean and everything like the housing is and the patient artwork and have them, you know, have the people who work there explain to you how the artwork is, you know, used around the campus and all that other stuff. It's so meaningful. We have those ads right now. I'm so close to the end of this round. Isn't this funny thing that we have where I'm like, but I'm almost done with this round. And like, if I stop now and come back, it's not like, you know, but like mentally I'm like, I want to finish this round first before I get up. And then you get to this point, right? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now I'm at the beginning of the next round and I have to start this round to like anchor the stitches on. So then, well, I might as well do the next one. Well, now I might as well do the next one. Oh, Ian, thank you.
They have given 102 gift subs in the channel.
Ian, thank you so much for doing that for our awesome friend Rusty, who is like so kind and such a sweet person. And can we get a shout out for Rusty, please? I know we're sitting here talking about streaming for St. Jude, so it's... And then Chenry, it's in an ad break because I was about to get up and go to the bathroom and I should have gone, but then you would have read it and I would have been away from the computer and I love you. We have a minute and a half left on the ads. If love you, Chen. Thank you. Chen is amazing. Please also, we need a shout out, a fancy shout out when we can for Chen. Thank you. I love you too. I love you too. Emerald, thank you for the 100 biddies. You guys are too sweet. I better go now or else I'm gonna be in trouble because somebody will do a thing and then I'll have to jump up and down and that will spell trouble. I've had a lot of trouble today. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh no, my project was like hanging off the desk. Thank you for the raid, Chen. I love ya. Welcome in, everyone. I am so happy to see you. I'm taking some ibuprofen. Everything is fine. Oh yeah, a group of cats. A clouder is the name for a group of cats. It is one of the names. Why?
Whoa.
That's a lot of
That
bits.
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. It sounds like Ozzy. Dun, 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 dun.
23% of level 2. That's a lot of bits. It's not even my birthday month anymore. But thank you, Donna. Thank you, Donna. Thank you for the 444 bits. Caesar Knight, thank you for the 1225. Thank you for the 101 bits, Ian, and for kicking off a hype train.
There's always a hype train in my heart for you.
There's always a hype train in my fart for you, too, right? Came apart. Every day is my fart day. Yes. You guys are too kind. I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, bunch of weirdos. Anyways. Today I am knitting, Raiders, a blouse from designer Amy Apple, whose designer name is Poisongrrls. And I am using a 75 1510 merino cashmere silk yarn. It's true. I'm the leader. It is a pay-for pattern. I do love the Poisongrrls patterns. They're like pinup retro style, but they are written in like they're modernized, and they also come in like a very nice wide range of sizing. I am not a queen, nor am I any ruler of any kind. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here, let's just find the one you did yesterday, because it should still be in here. What is this elbow licking emo? Oh yeah. Just don't lick the train. You can lick an elbow, but don't lick the train. You don't know where that train has been? Hi, Uncle Jimbo. I saw Brenda's drawing that she did for you from her Crayola crayon challenge that she's doing. I like that series. It's very cool. How you doing, Uncle Jimbo? And Donna's in here. Imagine that. Licks Trent, you're not my real mother. Thanks for the hype train, you guys. It's gone now. No licking the train now. It went bye-bye. Your opportunity to lick Tren is has passed you by. Goodbye, train. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. You licked it before it left. If you'd have told me. If you'd have told me 6 years ago, I would be sitting here knitting a sweater and talking about licking trains. With a bunch of wholesome degenerates. Chaos bringers. Do-gooders. I probably would have been like, yeah, that sounds about right. That's pretty on brand. Tren needs a wash then. Yikes. Did someone say degens? And Ghost is like, you rang? Hi, I'm here. It's me. I'm degens. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you. Last night, Amish got one Lego bag done in 3 hours. I mean, and he'll sit there and shake his head. We all do this, but I'm like, you are handing chat the tools to distract you on a silver platter. Wow, I haven't been called wholesome in over 20 years. Old man beholder, welcome in. Thanks for coming in on the raid. You like to make him do the ew-woo? I said degens, not ghost. You can go haunt again. Oh. I'm happy to see you, Ghost. How's it going today? Happy Friday, Junior.
Ooh, 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 ayo.
Oh, I appreciate that. I call you OMB. Oh, man, beholder. What are you up to today? Hope you're having a good day. You made it home from work and found your glass of wine. It's a good day. There you go. Now you're just relaxing, some recreation, relaxation. It's important. I always tell everybody at the end of every stream, and I mean it, you need to practice self-care, and sometimes that's allowing yourself a nice treat, a good glass of wine, your favorite chocolate, a cup of really nice tea. Maybe you say, you know what? I don't usually put sweetener in my coffee, but I'm going to have some hazelnut syrup in my coffee today. Little things like that. And also, or maybe, you allow yourself to take like an extra break while you're at work or something like that. It's all that stuff. It may not seem like a 10-minute break to like get up, stretch your legs, walk outside and have fresh air. Even when you're super busy with other obligations, it's going to make a difference, right? Like in your mind, you're going, no, I have too many other things to do. I can't do that right now. But if you set aside that time, it can be really helpful and you actually get more done. No black licorice for me. You can have all of it, Ian. You're back with noms. What do you have for noms, Chen? Thank you so much for the raid. What were you up to? Yeah, we just get so focused on productivity sometimes, and it ends up actually like, you know, you can burn yourself out, and you're more likely to make mistakes with certain things if you're like tired, overworked, too stressed. Mm-hmm. Oh, is it? I get it, Ian. It's opposite day. If it's opposite day, you guys go ahead and call me Queen all you want. Queen Influencer 9. Chicken noodle soup, and you were working on your Viking boat. Got the hull and the deck finished. Let's go. Awesome, Chen. No pressure to do so now because you're eating and taking care of yourself, which I'm glad you're doing. But anytime that you want to post your projects in Discord, you know you're welcome to. Is it opposite day? You're no queen. Mm-hmm. I see how you are. Would I like pics and show and tell? Go ahead. Just tell me once you've posted in there and we'll take a look at it, of course. That goes for anyone else, too. You can always post in there, and if I'm not, like, you know, in the middle of something super important or whatever, we can always try and hop back over there again. We try to keep it to one time per stream because that way I'm not stopping what I'm doing every time someone comes in the channel. If we establish that people can just post in there and I'll stop what I'm doing to go look at it, because you guys are so sweet and there's so many of you and you're all so lovely and talented and you do all this cool stuff, it's already hard enough for me to get a lot of things done while I'm streaming. So we just try to do it after the first ad break. But when we have a reader, it's a little bit different, and I feel like, you know, it's okay to make an exception for it, for sure. Especially someone as awesome and amazing and multi-talented and such a good friend as Chen. Ooh, yeah, do it. Do it. So if I do that, then the problem becomes showing my keyboard, which is on a drawer. So really what I need to do is just scoot in, but then I go to type on my keyboard and I scoot back, and then I forget to scoot back in. So like if I sit like this, it's not a problem, and I should be right in frame. If I point the camera back toward myself, unless I just completely scrap how I have everything mounted and do a completely different angle. So here's the other thing, right? This isn't too bad for knitting. I'm okay with holding my work like this and working in this position. It's not horrible. But typically, if I'm just sitting here knitting, like if I was just down here knitting, let's say I'm down here watching Twitch partner Fierce Kittens sew up some cool stuff, like maybe some bucket hats for streamers who stream for Starlight. If I hold the work where it's comfortable for me, I'm right here. Like my arms are almost, you know, they're more like against my chest. They're here. They're not out here. They're not held out in front of me. They're like this. I'm just gonna call you Rar. How's it going, Robert? I'm knitting a blouse, a top. So if I hold the work where it's comfortable and where I would, you know, not factoring in like cameras and people being able to see what I'm doing, I'm holding it right here. Yeah, yeah, Jen. Oh, I have yarn that's split on the previous. Oh man, how can I fix this? Wow, I shouldn't have taken the stitch out yet. That would have been one thing. I need to grab a crochet hook. I need to we've got like a split stitch. iCamera. Get one of them iCamera. Yes. Yes. Kittens, indeed, I was. So I'm going to take a really tiny crochet hook because I've got, like, I don't know if I'll be able to zoom in enough. Actually, somebody bought me something like that from the wish list. And thank you again, you guys, for all of those purchases. It's very kind. So I accidentally split through the yarn, and all I'm trying to do right now is just get the rest of, but it's hard to see here. I know you might end up not being able to see what I'm doing, but this is very tricky. It's like, it's kind of hard to explain. And now it's like they're like separated. They're like kind of tangled up, the different strands. Are you going to cooperate? And now one of them is off again. Why? There we go. I fixed it. That was tricky, though. Yeah, so typically yarn like this, and if I hold it closer to the camera, you can see how it's not just one uniform piece. It's actually several strands, plied is what it's called, plied together. Fart sanity. So if you accidentally somehow manage to get the tip of the needle between those plies, you end up splitting the yarn apart. And I've worked with this yarn at least once and then frogged it. And so sometimes that can make that a bit easier. So I just took a small crochet hook, a really tiny one. This is like a 2.0 millimeter crochet hook. So you want something definitely like smaller in size than the needles that you're using. And I just like fished the part of it through with the hook. So even if you don't crochet, a crochet hook can be a handy tool if you're a knitter. Yeah, it can. If you've worked with the yarn a few times and it's plied, it can separate a bit more. See, like, did I do it there? I almost did it there. Oh wait, that is knit, purl, knit. That's a purl stitch, and I almost knit it. So see, like, I moved back, and now I need to scooch in again. I'll be like, oh, I've got myself all situated, and then I do something and I have to change my position, and it I have to kind of start over again. Like positioning myself so that I'm not naturally sort of holding my hands away from the center of the desk. You would think that having this mat on the desk, which is kind of the reason why I have the mat on the desk, would help me to know, like, oh, you need to have your hands pretty much like right over the center of the mat. And I still forget. You're avoiding the task you need to be doing. Can you get a lie of encouragement? Like, if you don't get your office space set up today, you're grounded. What if is there something you could reward yourself with? Also, I saw a video where they were talking about trying to like give teens positive motivation. And I think a lot of this stuff, you know, the idea is to have them continue these habits into adulthood. Was to, when it's things that, you know, like, I have to set up my office today, instead of saying that, secret. You say, I get to set up my office today. Like, I don't have to thank Secret for using her Prime on the channel. I get to thank Secret for choosing this channel. You get to set your office up today so that it's set up the way you want it and that you're going to be able to be functional and productive and feel good about being in it, right? It's a hard thing to talk ourselves into, that things that we need to do and that we're obligated to do are, you know, trying to be like happy about doing them can be hard sometimes. But I think if you try to look at it that way, then it feels like less like work and more like a happy activity. Thank you so much, Secret. I really appreciate you. I really do. I very much appreciate you. Oh, no. Well, there you go. You get to set up your space to stream and do something you really love, and as a side hustle or a full-time gig. You get to. What if you literally did not have that time even, you know? I am here for the loud mom content. I'm not a mom, but I definitely know how to be loud. Can I? Yes, of course, NMV. Come on in. Come on in. If you're anything like me, if you're loud like I am, NMV, everyone's going to know you're coming for quite a while before you even get there. What's up, Secret? How you doing?
Another one.
You for the sub.
Literacy and 10 gifted
Thank
a
you,
tier 1
Ian,
sub to nothing
very
more
much.
brilliant. They have given 103 gift subs in the chat.
Thank you, Ian, so much for giving a gift sub to NMV. I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you so much. NMV, enjoy. Thank you for the support and the generosity. But yeah, Secret, thank you for using that Prime here. I'm all about you guys using a Prime. I understand, there's some disappointment that they are slightly reducing the amount of revenue we receive from it, but I think it's cool that you get to do it once every 30 days to support someone. And some people, a Prime sub is the only sub they can really justify on Twitch. They can't do, monthly subscriptions to people, even if they'd like to, but they need Amazon because they live like in a rural area and they have stuff they have to have delivered that they can't get anywhere else or something like that, right? So they're already paying for Prime. So then they get to turn around and support a streamer with it. So yep, it's NMV. This is a thing that a lot of people are dealing with. And that's one reason why I always try to make sure to highlight the fact that, again, being in the channel is an awesome way to support what we do. And we want you to be here and talk and enjoy yourself. And I feel like any streamer that gives you a hard time because you're not subscribing to them, that's not a place I would choose to hang out. Personally, not on Twitch, especially because, like, look, here's the thing. If you think that people should have to pay for your content, there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But then why are you, then you better figure out a way to make your content so desirable that people will pay behind a paywall, and it's required. So when you're on Twitch, you're getting exposure and people can check out your content for free. Really? True, but in other countries, it's going to reduce in some cases drastically. Really? Is it going up for us? I thought it was going down. Anyway. It's tough because, different countries have different laws and all this other stuff. And then there's exchange rates and there's all this complex stuff. Well, we love our folks from other countries and want them to feel like they're getting a fair shake, I love having international viewers. I think it's really cool that we have a lot of people who are not from the States in here. I enjoy having their perspective and their unique experiences. Yeet Bezos Corp. There are some partnered streamers that don't even have follower emotes, which is depressing. Talk to Fuzzy Bond or Cliff Terrios. What about what? How much do I think it's because, they take some kind of other percentage. I feel like it's not a straight, $2.49. It's not divide it right down the middle. I don't think. I know it's definitely not for subs. We don't get exactly half. We get 50% minus processing fees and other stuff like that. And hopefully you're not going to hear people sitting there going oh, you should just wait and do a bunch of gift subs at once because I'll get more per sub. But I mean, I think that is actually the case. But why in the world would I be upset by somebody doing a single targeted gift sub? I would never, it just puts us in these positions where people want the transparency of understanding how their funds are being used to support us. But at the same time, we feel hesitant to talk about it because we don't want to seem like we're not appreciative. You know what I mean? Does this make sense? Really, Miro? Wow. You just don't care anymore, but you recognize that's a unique privilege and creative. Well, yeah. I mean, but but a lot of people are in your situation, Kittens, where, Kittens works a full-time job. Streams when she can, does some sales of handmade, beautiful handmade stuff. A lot of sewing. I got a Janome kittens. I got to figure out where I'm going to set it up so I can actually film streaming or film sewing. Thank you so much to those that crowdfunded that Janome from my throne. I appreciate you, all of you, because there were several people. Having long-term connections with people around the world is one of the most valuable things about the internet. You have long-standing online friendships with people in Australia and New Zealand, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, Turkey, right? Yes, I have a friend who I'm still really good friends with who's actually also a fellow knitter who has sent me like knitted items for my kids that are like things I keep in a box for my grandchildren, who lives in Belgium, who I've known for like 30 years almost now. Check the categories and you can see immediately. Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, about the payouts and fees and things added. Hi, Silver Lining. Welcome in. Also check the categories and you can see immediately how low the overall viewership has gotten. Okay, I read that about, it is cool. It's like having pen pals, but it's much more instant gratification. You bought Turbo and you use your Prime as much as you can, but you think talking openly about how Amazon is taking advantage of streamers is a very good thing. I do think they are trying to make some efforts to defray that, like opening up the Plus program to affiliates as well as partners, and having 2 different tiers to it is a good thing. But I mean, could they do better than that? Sure. I mean, I'm not saying I don't think they could additionally improve, but you also got Turbo. Can't do ads, but you don't want to sub to every stream you end up in. So that's your little bit of support you can offer. Well, yes. And then if you meet somebody who you think seems cool and you're like, I like this person and want to support them, you can use bits in their channel or gift a sub, or you can tip them directly through their tip link. And they'll keep a lot more of that. Or like if they're a person that makes and sells things like myself, you know, you guys buy items from me. That's huge. Yes, I pay for cost of materials and all of that. It's not like all of the money you pay for an item I made goes straight to my pocket. But yeah, there's tons of ways. And again, just being in here, it is so appreciated. Like, I'm not unaware. I made the choice to do this full time. I could easily toss like resumes at a dozen, local restaurants and probably have a serving job or a management job, like maybe by the end of the weekend. Lots of places really need people, but, or maybe not, but it's a distinct possibility, right? And so it's also good for me to know that that's a backup option, but I made the choice to do this, and I'm not going to come in here and be like, like I have to like make sure I'm always treating this like exactly what it is, which is I chose this path, and so if something's not working about it for me, I have to figure out what is the appropriate way to approach that problem. And sometimes that question is going to come down to whether or not it's worth it to be in a business relationship with a particular platform. And that's for every single individual creator to decide for themselves. And that's why many of us actually work on several platforms and not just one, because we don't want to put all of our proverbial eggs in the single basket, which is a lot of work though. It is definitely a grind, but if you love it enough, it doesn't feel like a lot of work a lot of the time. You also got Turbo, can't do ads, taking advantage of both the content creators and the audience. Go to YT. Advertising is scary awful. Use your Prime in a specific channel every month, or go a higher tier sub like a tier 3. That is very helpful, but a lot of people know that we do not take home all of that cost. So they are concerned with, well, what's a better way to support someone? Like I know people who it's not a question of whether or not they would want to support someone or, whether or not they think the content is worthy of that price tag, but more that their support will go a lot further elsewhere. I've had that conversation with many people who say they don't sub to anyone, but they'll cheer bits because they don't mind paying the upfront cost for that, or they'll tip, etc. And they would never ever subscribe, and they certainly wouldn't subscribe at tier 3. And you know what? That is okay. That's their perspective. That's their choice. And I would never try to argue with them that that's wrong. I think, you know, you just have to see it as like there's all kinds of benefits to all the different ways that people could potentially choose to support you, and just be thankful when they do it. It's okay to have opinions and to want things to change. It's okay to speak up and speak your mind. Don't mistake what I'm saying for like don't complain at all. It's more like targeted and constructive and organized feedback where you're like, for example, the user voice thing that has helped get some things changed on Twitch for the better. So, you know, you just have to be persistent too. And yeah, talk to people and be like, hey, do you know, how do you feel about this? Would you sign a petition? Yes, Chen. But yes, I do very much appreciate our tier 2, tier 3 folks. If you can afford it and you feel like this space is worth supporting to that extent, I am insanely grateful. Picks in Discord, okay. Oh, cool. Cards you made yesterday. Whole side view of the Viking boat. Cup in picture to show size. Oh, happy birthday card with a pretty horsey on it. Oh, I like this. Ramona loves pink. Is this... Can't tell. Does it have a little bit of a purple to it, or is it pink? It looks pink. Very pretty. Aw, that's very cute. Little girl with a horse. Little pony. Oh, sympathy card. I like this. A very simple design. I like the pretty texture to the paper. Do you sell these, Chen? I mean, I know it's not always about selling things. But if you do, you'd be welcome to post the link. Goodness gracious. That's going to be huge. It's going to be huge, Chen. I like the pretty purple butterfly. I'm such a squirrel. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Pretty purple butterfly. Just like to remind them that subs not only give the streamer money, but increase engagement, which can drive visibility. Absolutely agreed. 1000% Razor. It's why I'm very thankful when people do it. 1000% agreed. Is it going to be Gengar huge? What's with you and Gengar today, Ian? Not the cards. No, that's for craft show. Oh, cool. We need a life-size Gengar for reference. I can't. I mean, I would that it were so. Would that I could transport myself to be in the same room with Chen and her giant Viking boat, whole side view of the Viking boat, right? This is pretty cool. What's inside of it? Did you crochet around? What is the stabilization? Secret, this is so stinking cute. Oh, poor baby. Did we have to have some kind of, procedure? This is ridiculously adorable. Fashion cone. She had her spay on Monday. Yeah, we had to keep the cone on Heracles after he got fixed for like almost the full 2 weeks. He wouldn't leave himself alone at all. Poor baby was running around the house all boing, 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 boing with the cone just like bouncing around on his neck. But yeah, fashion. Yeah. It needs to be glow in the dark. It needs to be glow in the dark. The outside of it, please tell me the outside of it is glow in the dark. Poor baby. Oh, but we got to do the thing. Boop. She's so pretty. Such a pretty pupper. Those eyes, like the betrayal. I know. Really? Now you're taking pictures of me too? I'm just a big joke to you, huh? Dogs are so sweet, though. Our puppies, man. I love our puppies. They're so sweet. They're such good puppies. All right. I'm making a little bit of progress here. I don't even know how many rows this is now. Rounds. One, two, three, four. I think this is 5. She's way better in it than the cone. Oh, okay, cool. It's fashion. You fart, understand. Thanks, Buttspot. She side-eyed the heck out of you for that one. She wants out now, so you'll be RB. No worries, Secret. Thank you, Secret, for your Prime. I appreciate you. One of your neighbors has a dog named Rosie who's stoked every time she sees you and just wants to wiggle and cuddle and get pets. Oh, yeah. Some animals are definitely like we have the little chocolate colored pug next door that still won't let me pet her. And her name is PETA, and she gets out and causes all kinds of problems. And yes, it stands for what you think it does. PITA. Not the food, the acronym. And I've been trying to get PETA to let me pet her for 3 years. And then we have dogs like the ones across the street that are almost don't understand any kind of stranger danger. Yep. Pain in the booty, exactly, except for, the A isn't booty. Steak in the dryer pick? Wait, what? Gravy! Oh my god, I'm so glad you got your shirt. Gravy, thank you for posting a picture. Thank you, friend. Our friend Gravy time. I love it. Dude. See, there you go. This is another example of I don't know if I ever would have had any kind of occasion to run into Gravy time, and now there you are wearing your shirt. I really appreciate you. You're so awesome. Thank you, friend. I hope you and Marianas and Mini Gravy are doing well. It's great. Thank you so much. I love it. Oh, really, Donna? That's awesome. High keyboard? Oh, yeah. Guys out here banning and yeeting each other. Anyway, yeah, that's really cool, Donna. That's very, I haven't had C's candy in a little while, actually. There used to be a little C's candy shop downtown Portland, but I don't know if it's still there. It's probably not. It's a little small.
Another one.
Thank you for the sub.
Oh,
Literature
Ian,
and 10
thank
gifted
you.
a tier 1 sub to Stegapixel.
Ian
They
picking
have given
on
104 gift subs in the channel.
Stegapixel this time. Thank you so much, Ian, for gifting that tier 1 sub to Stegapixel. I really appreciate it. It's so kind of you. Stegapixel, enjoy your emotes, ad-free viewing, all those goodies, plus some free sound alerts, stuff in the sound alerts panel that's free for subscribers. And I'm trying to think about some different ways and whether or not it's better to like just keep focusing my energy on Fourth Wall. I do really love and think that live space has potential. And we were talking about, you know, like I need to go over there and like find new people over there. I found a cool streamer named Corey Artus, COREYARTUS, over on live space that if you guys enjoy watching art streams, is really wholesome, really kind. Willing to explain everything he's doing. If you're into digital art and you want to learn from somebody who's got some experience, lots of experience teaching and specifically teaching stuff to do with like creative topics because he has a master's in technical theater and has done a lot of costume design. I met him on LiveSpace and it was really fun hanging out in his channel. So, you know, I want people to understand like I'm trying to branch out a little bit to these other platforms, but I love this space, and I think it is worth fighting for. You know, better compensation for us. You know, more responsibility and accountability for how both streamers and users conduct themselves on the site. And, you know, somebody gave me a really nice compliment the other day. I don't remember who it was, but they were saying something about it being kind of hard to get partnered as a PG-13 streamer here. And, I mean, combine that with being a creative streamer and you're really not doing yourself any favors, but I think it really is possible. And I think we can make this a space, a platform where people who fit both of those descriptions can flourish. But we do need more exposure and we need more support. So it's okay to ask for those things. It's okay to love where you're at and also still think that it can improve. I did see it. We just looked at it. You look great. Thank you. I'll bring it back up. Do we have ads right now? Thank you, Karen. Thank you for buying it. You're so sweet. I still struggle to understand this steak in the dryer obsession that you guys have, but I guess I've just sort of you've beaten me down, chat. Uncle. Look, Mom, I'm on TV. I was asking how's Marianas and Baby Gravy. PG-13, folks. Mini Gravy. I'm supposed to say Mini Gravy. Yeah, you should definitely check it out, Ian. I thought of you immediately because I started asking like some questions and then I found in his info that he uses an iPad and Procreate. And an Apple Pencil. He did say he's like, it's not that I don't want to do any gaming on stream, but this is more my interest. But I realized that doing some gaming might help, you know, me to reach a little bit bigger of an audience. It's the only problem is I have a Mac and, you know, games on Macs is not as, that's sort of, you know, kind of a problem. And I was like, you should do what you want to do. It would be really cool to see a streamers union. I mean, entertainers, I wonder, is this the sort of thing where maybe, you know, is it like a SAG-AFTRA type thing? You know, I mean, my husband, when he was working for somebody else in grocery, was had, you know, there was collective bargaining and it meant we had really great insurance. He didn't like the job all that much. Like, it wasn't his passion. He had people he worked with he liked. He was working in the meat department at a grocery store, and you know, we had good benefits, but it took a little while before we got access to the better benefits and like being able to put me on the insurance at like a really reasonable rate and all that. But we never had access to any of that in restaurants, never. So it's definitely a benefit. He's even considered going back to it because of that. So we want dryer steak. When do we want it? In 46 minutes, depending on the cycle. Yo, what do we want? Dryer steak. When do we want it? When 9 hits 10,000 sub points. Yes, this is true. Exactly. We're not considered employees. Yes, what Ian said, it would be very complex, but health insurance is very important. Well, also you're dealing with people that reside in a bunch of different countries too, though. Yeah, we're not considered regular employees. So I don't know. Now, I'm hardly an expert. I don't understand exactly how unionization, works in the States or anywhere else for that matter, but wait, can unions?
I heard some dryer steak hype. Let's go.
Thank you for the bits, Mirror. How are you, friend? Ooh, I'm trying to plan what I'm going to do this next week. I think we have a lot of projects around the house, and if the weather is cooperative, I'm going to try to do some outdoor stuff this weekend with the family. I might record some of it either for YouTube or try to see if I can't test out streaming from mobile on LiveSpace. Possibly. IWW Streamers Union. It could happen. You're good. Weather just makes you want to nap all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I had a hard time getting out of bed today. I set an alarm for 5:30 in the morning. I was going to get up and do some stuff before stream and before everybody in my house was awake, and it didn't go so well. That's okay, though. I must have needed the sleep. So I think you said you're like confused as to how this is growing. And so basically with knitting as opposed to crochet, you have all of these are what's referred to as live stitches, right? So they're all on the needle and the cable. But they are actively being held, like they're loops that are being actively held only by the needle and the cable, whereas the rest of the stitches that you've done, whoops, I just started knitting in stockinette. All the rest of them are being held like by each other. So that's why it's like such a disaster if you accidentally drop a stitch. It can unravel all the way down. Because they're literally just loops that are one inside the other vertically. You got up when your supervisor texted you about oh boy. The only reason you know anything about unions is because before you left your job, you were planning to unionize your store. You have quite a few independent contractors, so it was important to know what you could do for them. Yes. Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely not fun if that happens, but if you catch it soon enough, again, grabbing a crochet hook and sort of just pulling those loops through each other. You have to make sure you do it the correct direction, if that makes sense. Because if you pull them through on one side, then you end up with a knit stitch on your right side of your work. If you pull them through the other way, then you get a purl stitch, and you need to make sure that when you're fixing them, you're orienting the stitches the correct way so that you have the right texture on the right side. It's different. Like this is a knit stitch where you go from the front to the back through the front leg of your stitch, and then you pull the yarn through. And now I have to do a purl stitch, so I pull the yarn in the front of the work and I go through the front from the back. I go from the back through the front of that same leg and then wrap around and pull off. So that's how you create the different texture, because now you get a little bump in the front, whereas before you had a V in the front. And this is also how you, so that'll make the fabric ribbed by creating like a tension that cinches up the stitches, and they can be stretched, but that way it will conform. You don't want to flip it, right? You can accidentally sort of flip the stitch like inside out, basically. You were active in the IWW Prisoners Union for several years. Donna said, I'm talking about unions. You resemble that remark. Yeah, restaurant and hospitality workers, there are unions for those industries, but we did not, not a single one of the properties I ever worked for, hotel or otherwise, was unionized. So the only experience I have with it, I was in the Ohio State Employees Union for like 3 months or something like that. And I still get retirement plan information sometimes from them. And I'm like, I don't even know how much of a contribution I would have had from my paychecks there, but it was a union job because I was a public employee. Is this conversation around SAG-AFTRA courting creators? Not to my knowledge. I mean, so here's the thing, like to join SAG-AFTRA, you have to meet specific requirements. Like basically you earn points through doing certain types of work, and you have to have enough points to be able to join the union, from what I understand. So you can still work in like, certain capacities, but you're not considered a union member until you've done like XYZ. And it's been a long time since I really looked into any of this, and some of it may have changed. But I went to school for theater, so I kind of have some familiarity with how it works. But if you're a card-carrying member of SAG-AFTRA, then you have to, like in certain circumstances, you have to abide by, like you have to pay dues and all that other stuff. You have the screen time, but not the money, so no. And you have to pay dues and all that other junk. And it's not cheap. It's every year if you work or you don't, right? So you do have to pay into it. You just know SAG-AFTRA wants to cover creators too. That's what I was saying earlier. I was saying, I mean, I'm not sure if we had if streamers could be unionized, if it would be something that would just end up being, part of SAG-AFTRA, or only 1% actually make a living at it. Yep. So it's tough because I am glad that it exists, and there, there's a lot of people out there working in entertainment that would just, they'll ask you to do outrageous stuff that's unsafe, unsanitary, too much, not enough downtime and all this other stuff. But if you're part of a union, you can say like, no, my union contract says you can't make me do that. It's more of a guild type union, very different from the unions you've been involved in. Well, and again, because people are working on films, and it's not like, they might be under contract to a studio, or they might not. But so there's a lot of, again, it's like, there's like a lot of stuff that happens that is on a production by production basis, as opposed to, I suppose each place of employment has its own conditions. And anyway, yeah, I think that would be pretty difficult considering, I don't know. Would be interesting if being part of SAG then meant you couldn't stream due to a strike. That would be really hard for a lot of people. I wonder how the efforts to unionize game developers have been going. Hi, Maz. Hi, 9 Miro, Ian, Razor, nerds, and chat. Maz. It would be the case as a union member, you really can't cross the line. Yeah. Or like, let's say your content, revolves around reviewing movies. Would you then not be able to, like, you know what I'm saying? You guess you're nerds. That would probably be a deal breaker for a bunch of streamers. Yeah. It did affect your actor friends who stream here. Yeah. You can ask, but the contracts drawn up for work for gaming really tack to the ones SAG-AFTRA uses. I'm not a nerd. I'm a weirdo. You can get fined for breaking the union rules. Nothing more fartrient. Oh, Butspot, you card. Yeah, that's interesting. It's an interesting question. A lot of people like doing this because it's independent. So they'll take all of the uncertainty and, all the other stuff that goes with it that can be difficult. And I've heard people make the argument before that, like, if what you want is, like, complete, like, guaranteed, hey, you do this and I pay you this, then you want, like, traditional acting and performing with an agent. And even then, it's like, well, you're not always sure where your income's coming from. It's not, like, 100% consistent. If you want, like, consistent income, if you want to just show up and do what you're told, that's called being employed. And, being a creator is usually being self-employed. And there is stuff about it that's very difficult. And I struggle with a lot of it. I'll be completely honest with you. I often feel like I am not at all doing enough of a good job managing my own small business, as it were, But I also have to be forgiving of myself because I have kids and animals and a home to take care of, and all that stuff. And it's not like I'm at the level where I could ask somebody to just come in and, like, pay them to clean for me or do any of that stuff. And even then, I don't know that I would, like, necessarily, I don't know. I think if you're taking good care of people that come in and do that kind of work for you, great. But I feel it feels weird. It's like, that's very bougie. Who has money for a cleaning person? But, like, if it helps make your life easier, like, why wouldn't you? Just make sure you're paying them appropriately and treating them respectfully and like they want work. And some people clean because they love it, not because they have to. Like, for a living. They, like, actually really enjoy it. So don't assume that just because it's manual labor that they're not doing it out of their own volition. You can get fined for breaking the union rule as recorded. Super easy to get caught. Kind of like we all have a 10-hour work week and 40-hour work week and weekends because unions got that for us. Yes. You never break a picket line, never, unless it was like, oh, sure, yeah, an openly racist strike, like an anti-immigrant strike. Yeah, I think I've never seen that. Typically, what I've seen with unions is that it seems to transcend. No, I'm sure that there's exceptions, but I've seen a lot of the time that unions, that's going to transcend a lot of things for people. They're like, nope, we are all bonded by this thing. It helps people look out for one another in the instances that I've seen it up close. VODs would need to be deleted ASAP, and that's assuming the streams aren't being monitored. I know, yeah. It wouldn't stop you from streaming. Streamers who are SAG members too. There are a number of potential content restrictions during a strike. The union would want their streamers to get the word out. If the unions were governing the streaming space directly, that wouldn't be the case. Well, you would be going on strike against, like, a platform, Gravy. So it would be like, we're striking against Twitch or something. Wouldn't that be how it would work? It would be you'll be 100% transparent and say you're anti-union. You're entitled to your opinion. You would love to have cleaning people, but then you get so particular about places they missed. Cursed with very detailed brain. You think it depends on the strike? The strike made it so they could not do anything movie or TV based and could not do interviews regarding movies or TV shows. Yeah. I know there was also some question, like, I remember people being like, wait, are they allowed to even talk about, it was like talk about characters and stuff, like in an interview or something, right? Mostly a thing of the past, but not entirely. Well, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. That seems pretty silly. It's extremely unfortunate. Complex topic. I know it is a complex topic. And I hope you guys won't think that I'm like just trying to change the subject, but it is 2:00 and I'm actually going to have to go soon. Because I need to take my dogs outside and get ready to leave the house. But no, I think that it's important to talk about it. We don't have like a super strict rule here about like, no talking about anything that fits X, Y, or Z description. But I do think that, these sorts of topics can end up, this has been extremely civil. It's an example of how to do it, but, it is for sure a topic that some people, not anyone who's in here in my experience with all of you, have a tendency to allow it to devolve, and that's one reason why a lot of us avoid it. And also, again, I'm not an expert in this topic. So this is one of those situations, right, where sometimes as streamers, we get a bit nervous because if we're not prepared to moderate a complex discussion of something that may or may not involve like politics or religion or other topics that people tend to be very, very passionate about, we worry that we might allow the discussion to go too far in one direction or another, and that people will end up feeling alienated. And that's the last thing I would want. I think it's totally possible to have constructive dialogue about it, open conversation. But the internet is a place where a lot of people, and again, I'm not talking about I'm saying present company accepted. The internet is a place where a lot of people love to get behind a keyboard, the anonymity of a keyboard, and express themselves in a way that's not at all respectful and does not leave room for discussion. Unfortunately, it's quite sad, actually. It's like it should be a way for us all to better understand each other, and unfortunately for some it becomes a way to further divide. Politics, religion, and sports, people will always get. It's true. It's true. It's very true. How are you, John? You passionate about politics? Never. No. No. I get it, NMV, and you're totally good. I like, really, honestly, I do. I think this is an important discussion, like especially stuff when it comes to like how people who exist on any content creation platform, but the one we're on right now, how we make our living and making sure that we are being fairly compensated is a very important topic. It's hard to avoid it, right? Like, how are you supposed to avoid that topic entirely? Sports, nobody's ever gone to the extreme over sports. There's not even a whole category of sports called extreme sports. Can you imagine? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, John. I hope you're doing well. I mean, or at least on the path to being like 100%. In other countries, they're less important, but the U.S. laws are made for companies, not workers, so we need that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Exactly. Any group of people, unfortunately, is going to be subject to the possibility of corruption. It's unfortunate. Do we want to throw the whole, this expression has always struck me as funny. You want to throw the baby out with the bathwater? It's like, again, 40-hour work week, which some people argue should be less. And I actually kind of have to agree. Because most people will say, like, I'm not working the entire 8-hour straight shift that I'm there. You've never heard throw the baby out with the bathwater? Or, cut off your nose to spite your face is another similar idiom. But, like, yeah, there's stuff that it has accomplished for sure that is extremely important. And I don't think that it should be not allowed for that reason, because it often, a collective bargaining unit in its ideal form is there to protect people and to keep them from being taken advantage of, which is very easy to do when, you're giving someone employment. It's like this idea of like, well, I get to make all the rules and tell you exactly what to do, how to do it, and when. Right? But then, so some people will take that to the extreme, right, of infringing on people's safety and not, again, compensating them fairly for their hard work. You know, that's your time and you never get it back. So you would never, ever, ever troll me. Yeah. Anyways, listen, I really am not just trying to shut this conversation down. I promise. I have to get going because I have obligations today. Yeah, I got it. My hands on the mouse. I already pressed the button. I did it. I did a thing before Miro, you guys. I also encourage you. Listen, I want to encourage this. There are lots of spaces specifically dedicated to being able to have these discussions and hash it out and talk with people. And I wish more people would be willing to do that with people who do not have the exact same views as they do. And I think it's important. So don't, you know, as long as people are like being respectful, I think that it's a good thing, honestly. I used to have a lot of really good, like, honest, fun debates with friends in high school and college. And I kind of miss, but I feel like that's something people are often not prepared to do in a way that's like productive. You know, we always just like want to like argue and like fight with each other. But I mean, I don't know. I'm a peacemaker at heart. I'm by nature a person who wants people to get along. Let's see here. We need to practice Fort with Kim tonight. So I might be live streaming Fort practice with Kim because we're doing another duos tournament with Kim, with Artemis Frost and Dan Clancy. Well, we won't be participating. They're going to be doing a bunch of different games. We're not going to be doing all of them. And I think that it's not necessarily like strictly limited to people in the guilds. Miro, just for your info, because I know you put something about women's guild. It's more like guild focused, but we don't have to be in the guilds. And congratulations to our friend Geronimo Kiddo, who just very recently got accepted into the Latin Guild, which is awesome. That's okay, NMB. I appreciate you. I like having you here, NMB. I hope that comes across. I really do hope that comes across to you. I like having all you guys in here, and I do. I respect that we may not all come from the exact same backgrounds, we may not have the same views, but you know, all of you are, even if you're chaotic sometimes and you love to troll me with dry your steak. Generally there's like an undercurrent of wholesomeness and friendship and people who want to treat each other, you know, nicely and have a good time together. And that's really what I'm here for. I believe laughter is really good therapy. And I love you guys and you do a lot for me. So just know how important, you know, this space and people being able to find like some peace and joy in it is to me. It really is. Looks at Craigslist for vintage dryer for future filet mignon night. Yeah, we're like a tenth of the way there, Maz. I mean, if you really think about it in that sort of a way. But 10K is a lot. That's just a lot, okay? I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for today. It was fun. I actually made some decent progress on this, so I'm going to be trying to, like, you know, work on this as consistently as I can. I obviously have other things I need to do, including a bunch of redemptions and stuff for people. Thank you so much for all your patience when it comes to me completing those and getting them sent out to you. I really appreciate it. You guys are so kind and so patient. It like kind of blows my mind. And also I am regularly trying to get caught up with uploading VODs to YouTube eventually. That is where all of those will live. Please make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube if you use YouTube. And live space as well, because I am streaming from there occasionally if you want to be able to watch me on there. We have a friend who's live right now who has invited me to participate in a similar situation as what they're doing right now. They are a friend of a friend who you might know, and that is Do More Cool Stuff, who's playing some Fortnite, which is a bit different, you know, coming from me knitting. But Do More Cool Stuff and I are talking about doing this very thing live. Maybe both of us live. Maybe I just come over on DMCS's channel. And he's doing an interesting challenge that you may or may not already be familiar with. I really do enjoy DMCS. Comes in here and hangs out. And may or may not have a connection to our friend Art and Jest, to Brenda. But you should come check out the channel and drop a follow and get to know DMCS. who does like kind of content creation type stuff full time, and is just doing this Fortnite thing on Twitch for fun, and I think takes a good portion, if not all the funds, and just turns around and devotes them to things like, charity and helping other streamers and stuff like that, which is awesome. Please come meet our friend DMCS on their channel. I'm really excited about, what our community is going to be able to do for Starlight and all the other stuff coming up in the future. Thank you for supporting me and our charities and our friends when we go on raids. Come with us on the raid. Stick around for the raid. I will see you guys over there. Please make sure also that you do something nice for yourself today. Practice some self-care. It is super important, and you are 100% worth it. Thank you guys, all of you. RC, Puffles, Donna, NMV, Miro. Thank you, mods. That goes double for the mods, right, everybody? Mod love in the chat, please. Maz, I appreciate the heck out of you. Gravy, thank you for the cute picture in Discord. I love it. You started the day with a cookie. Hey, you know what? There you go. The challenge is still going, Razor. You guys will find out when we get there. I'll see you over there. Bye!